Hey everyone, welcome to Midweek Gaming with R&D as our DM. I'm going to hand it over to the DM. We're just going to get right into it.
Yeah, all right. So midweek things, we're not doing our usual campaign. We are going to be doing a one shot that's probably going to be a two shot because it's a little long, but it's a module called Dead Weddings. If you want to go find it, it's on DM's Guild. I think I paid like $2 for it or something like that. It seems interesting, but I've never run it, so we'll see how interesting it is. All of our characters are starting off at level 16, so this is a high level game, so things get crazy real quick, I think. And just a little bit of background lore on why our heroes are together is all of our heroes, they're not heroes because they're part of an assassin's guild, so maybe not heroes.
Anti-heroes.
Anti-heroes is probably the closest, but all of our characters are
heroes to the people who hire us.
You're heroes to the people who hire you. Yep. They are all part of an assassin's guild named the Silent Wing. They don't just do assassinations, but assassination is kind of their bread and butter. They do also do bodyguard, theft, forgery, just about any kind of criminal thing. They'll do it for you. They're kind of a high-end criminal organization. They're very they have rules and laws that all the members must abide for. It's an ancient organization. It's been around at a minimum 3,000 years. They have a written history that goes back 3,000 years that they keep themselves, but many of the members are fairly sure that this guild has existed far beyond the 3,000 years. They've been doing things the same way for a very long time, so they're very conservative in that way. They've stayed together by following their rules for 3,000 years. So they do things their way, and that's the way it's always done, the way it's always going to be done. Our members are, I'll let them introduce themselves because there's not going to be an opportunity to do it kind of naturally in game. So I'll let the members kind of introduce themselves. And I'm going to call people off because if I just let people do it, they don't do it. Christy.
Oh, okay. Yes, my character is Ellery. She is a half-elf, born of parents who are elf and human, and servants of Bane. So her parents were paladin in the Bane religion, and they wanted her to follow in their footsteps. So early on, she took up battling, became a fighter, sort of a paladin, but she kept putting off taking the oath at level 3, and her parents kept pressuring her. But the thing is that she always felt more drawn to Asmodeus rather than Bane. Why worship the minion when you can worship the president or the king? So eventually this becomes a crisis of conscience. She leaves and has to make her way in the world. So she used her fighting skills to become a sort of a rogue, but also her fighting was more finesse than bashing things. She's got good dexterity and stuff. So she learned more skills and became a rogue that way and started to be a sort of a sword for hire. And that's when she got connected up with the Assassin's Guild at a very low level. But then one of the things she was hired to do was to protect a troop of bards that were going on a tour. She was like bodyguard, enforcement, and crowd control and stuff. And what she found was, and through her working with the bards, she started to sing once, and they complimented her on her singing. And she realized that she actually has this talent. That's why that was a talent she was waiting to come forward, and she's using it now in the service of Asmodeus to climb the ranks and become more powerful. So she uses her bard abilities to kind of have a cover life for her assassin duties. And that's Ellery. Nice. And her intern Dave is a sellsword that Dave is a sellsword that was kind of hired on for beef and security, but he seemed to have a lot of other talents. Kind of reminded Ellery a bit of herself, and so she kind of took him under her wing and is trying to bring out the other talents he has besides just bashing things.
All right, awesome. Next week. Human fighter. Next, we have microblognism.
Well, I will be playing Pasht, who is a grung, a monk.
What's a grung? Because I'm pretty sure most people don't know what a grung is.
It's a little frogman.
What frogman?
So he was an elite warrior. He's orange. So grungs have like a hierarchy with different colors doing different tasks. He was an elite warrior in his tribe, but he realized he had like rather maybe a little narcissistically that he had the skills to go far beyond that, so he left the group. And he then joined the Assassin's Guild at age 4. Grunk's mature in like 2 years. And he has spent pretty much all of his life in the guild training. And he is now top tuned and to do assassinations with poisons, because Grunk's naturally poisonous. So that's his forte.
Sounds good. And you also have an intern.
Yes, she is a tiefling named Amatia. Yes, I named her after a mushroom. She is also, she's shown signs of being adept with poisons, which is why she's been assigned to me.
All right. And that takes us to Jess.
I'll be playing Rodog. Hailing from the mountain tribes of orcs. Rodog exchanged power with a demon lord. Became a great warlock within his tribe, but found them to be not enough. So he traveled outwards, bringing only with him his younger sibling, Urgaz. He joined the Assassin's Guild out of a need for power.
All right.
Urgaz is my brother. He's also my apprentice. He was more like a he was a package deal. The Assassin's Creed weren't completely excited about keeping him. Urgaz is a barbarian, completely by the definition of the word. Typical orc. He is a bit on the slow side, but he gets work done. And by work, I mean he chops things in half.
All right.
That can be important.
It can be. And last but not least, we have Chrissy.
Hello. My character's name is Snip. What do you want to know?
You can tell us your backstory and why you're part of the organization or the guild.
I was a monk. We used to kill people. That's where I grew up. But then I got mad at them. Now I'm here. And I do magic. And I make special potions.
All right. And you also have an intern?
Oh.
Oh no, did we lose Chrissy in
Your
that?
sound dropped a bit.
Yeah.
You're back.
Oh, sorry.
You're back.
His name is John Morley, and he is a human. And I haven't even killed him yet.
Wait, did we ever establish what you are?
I am an Eladrin. Why, you ask? Everybody knows.
Because the nice people want to know.
We don't like to tell nice people about the things we do.
They're nice people they're nice like we are.
Oh, okay.
I think that takes us to everybody, so we can start off our anti-heroes. You start off. You start off the adventure, or we're going to start off in a dark room. The room is pitch black, and only lit by a few candles on top of a table in front of you. In front of you sits a box roughly the size of a briefcase. It's a nice walnut box with some metal work on it. It looks, you've all seen this box plenty of times and you know exactly what's inside of it. It is rather simple on the outside, but its contents are extremely important to the guild. In front of you is what you can't assume much about it. It's a creature that you've spoken to many times before, but you have no idea what race or gender or really anything about him. You know this creature as the owl. The owl is dressed all in black with an owl mask covering its face. When it speaks to you, you cannot, try as you might, cannot discern anything about its identity. Its voice appears genderless to you. Its speech, every time you hear it, is in the typical common that you would expect to hear from anyone else. Nothing about him seems all that special whenever he speaks him. But you know that the owl is the person who gives you your contracts. He is the highest ranking member of the guild. And you stand before him as he explains to you about your contract. And he says, or they say, we have been requested by Victoria Kupta to go and assassinate her husband, Frederick Kupta. Additionally, she has requested that we attribute the murder to Trigget Zigget, a gnome. This is a very important contract, as both Victoria and Frederick are nobles in the area and hold much power. This contract will be worth a lot of gold to the guild, and it is very important that we get this right. That is why I have chosen you four to undertake this contract. And he opens the box. Hopefully that showed to everybody. I don't know. Or if things are
I'm not seeing anything.
Why? All right, roll 20. Do the things. Sorry, I'm going to have to.
I think you might not
reload.
have moved. I don't think you've moved us to the correct window. We're still in the starting thing.
Yeah, that's where you need to be.
Oh.
But you have, hopefully, I don't know why that's not showing up to anybody. So I'm just going to put it in your thing. Oh, we'll take it from there and there. Do that. Okay, show to everyone. So hopefully you see a contract.
There we go.
It's not the most elaborate, but it has in it the details of the contract. On the left, you see, it contains 3 drawings. They are not pictures because pictures don't exist yet. 3 drawings, very detailed drawings of a human man and a human woman who you can safely assume are Victoria and Frederick, and a small gnomish woman who you can safely assume is Trigget. The owl opens the box in front of you, and you see the contract written out in parchment, a quill and ink, and 4 bracelets made out of braided string. You've done this plenty of times, so you know that you must put the braided strings on your wrist and wear them as bracelets, and then sign the contract if you agree to undertake the contract.
I sign it, obviously. Put it on, sign it.
Yep, as does Ellery.
Hesitation. Is there a reason we're hesitating?
I sign it.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, this might be bad.
Chrissy, can you repeat that?
She's having some internet issues.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, you're roboting. Do you have other programs running at the same time on the same computer? Maybe turn off things that might be running in the background.
All right. Hang on.
Oh, there we go.
Let me see if I
Okay.
can. Oh. Okay.
Do you sign?
Yes, I signed.
As you each sign the parchment, you notice, you feel the string bracelet, the braided string bracelet, tighten around your wrist. You know from experience of doing this plenty of times before that failure to meet the contract by the given date means that the bracelet slowly tightens itself until the contract is fulfilled. If you fail to it, you are more or less relinquishing your hand. If you fail to meet with the contract, it will tighten to the point where it just chops off all circulation to your hand and just falls right off.
What day is it?
What day is it?
Well, it says completed by summer solstice.
You are a month away from the summer solstice.
Okay.
You have a whole month to complete it. And Al goes on to explain, Mr. Frederick is a very reclusive man. He's been in his mansion for decades, and no one has really seen him come out. He's quite private. There will be a wedding held in 30 days on the summer solstice between Rosa and Wyan. At this wedding, Mr. Kupta, Mrs. Kupta, and Mrs. Siggett will all be attending. This will be the perfect place for you to dispatch of our target and find a way to place guilt squarely on Mrs. Siggett. You may use all of our resources that you need to accomplish this task.
Do we have any knowledge of this gnome?
Well, if you wish more knowledge, you may always go to our library, but I can tell you that this gnome is the head of the Gemstone Guild. They hold quite a bit of property and money, which I believe is why Mrs. Kupta wants guilt placed on her. Without her competition, I am very sure that Miss Victoria will be able to gain quite a bit of power.
Understood.
If you do not have any more further questions, I will leave you to prepare yourself for this mission.
What about the wedding?
The wedding, it is between a human, Rosa, and an elf, Wyan. As you know, because you know the history of the place you live in. You know the history, but I'm going to repeat it just for exposition's sake. This nation has been in conflict with the elves for a very long time, but this wedding is meant to symbolize a peace between the humans and the elves. We do not care who wins out in this wedding, but it is going to be a very important wedding, very exclusive. Only a few select members will be invited to the wedding itself. However, the rest of the city will be celebrating this wedding. I am more than certain that there will be festivals and parties throughout the whole city. By the way, you all live in Moonshadow City, and the same place where the wedding will take place.
Okay, that's helpful.
Okay.
I
always cry at weddings.
I don't think I'm physically able to cry. I don't know. Can frogs cry?
Oh, that's a good question. You probably leak poison.
I mean, I always do.
Any further questions?
No.
Nope.
I bow, as I said, and leave the room.
Yep. So you all leave the room. You have in-game 30 days to get yourself preparations for this wedding. This is, I will let you know, sort of metagame things, is that this campaign is really about being prepared. I'm not going to tell you what you need to have, but if you don't have it, you're going to know that you're if you go in unprepared, things are going to go badly. So I strongly suggest you take your time to prepare for what you need, and however you plan on fulfilling this contract, and however you think that you're going to be able to frame Ziggett.
We need to know about this gnome.
True. In terms of the wedding, I think I can get us in closer by using my cover as a bard to provide entertainment to the wedding. So in terms of getting in, I think we should at least have a way to approach and get into where we need to get close to our victim. So that's what I was thinking about. And then the next would be the framing. Well, then how we do it, and then how we frame them.
So you are going to have to figure out, I'm pretty sure, I'll tell you this much, showing up at the front gate on the day of the wedding and being like, hey, we're performers, is probably going to be a lot more difficult. You might need to figure out a way to know what, they do need performers.
Yeah.
That maybe having it in before you show up might
How
be a
many
smarter
days
idea.
till the wedding? I know it's 30
Yeah,
days
30.
till
A
the...
month.
Okay, it's on the solstice, so it's the last day of the month. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Longest
so-
day of the year, shortest night.
Yeah. So at least I can get in and maybe 1 or 2 bodyguards because I'm such an amazing talent. So
Well. You
I
could
can
always-
sing too.
Oh.
There's always the option of killing the actual performer and taking their place.
Right, but we need to get more than one person in. Well, I guess to do the assassination, we only need one person in, but that's kind of risky. Depends on how things go.
No,
So anyway.
when in the day this wedding will be held, that might be important for the two of us who rely on shadows.
I guess we'll have to go find some.
That is a
ask
good
out.
question. So you have not unlimited, but very close to unlimited resources at the guild. So you have a library full of books. You can, you can ask those that are more familiar with the wedding. I am sure that there are. It's a pretty big deal. There is no Google, but there's signs out in the street if you really need to go look at signs. There are people you can talk to about like when will the wedding occur. People like this is a big deal. This isn't like a secret wedding.
All right.
So
Well,
you'll be able to find that.
my background is criminal, which gives me like connections around the city, and obviously there's going to be people who are going to be associated making money scamming off this wedding. So I'd like to try to use my connections to find out information like the timetable, when the guests that we care about are going to arrive, that kind of stuff.
Give me a second. Let me grab a writing utensil. Okay. What questions do you have that you want answers to?
Well, people, what questions do we have? I have mine, but I don't want to talk all the time. So,
I think we want to know where it's going to be, when people are going to arrive, that sort of thing.
A more exact layout, maybe, if we can get that.
oh, is 30 days enough time to teach someone to use the drums? I do have a proficiency.
I mean, you can. Somebody can roll for it and see how good they are. Like, yeah, you can try. You can definitely try to teach someone the drums.
Trying to get more people in the front door. That's it. So.
I'm actually proficient with drums.
You don't even need to teach anyone how to use the drums.
Excellent. So pick up some drums. We'll have my lute and voice. Yeah.
Could you perhaps also try and find out what the meal would be? I want to see.
Oh, yes, yeah. Who's doing the catering and what's on the menu? Is it a buffet or is it served?
I want to see if the possibility of possibly poisoning our victim through food.
I will say
It
that
would be an easy task to then place the poison in the gnome's possession.
Oh,
That's true.
that's one way to do it. So I will say the when and the where is pretty easy. You can find that out within like half an hour. Because that's, like I said, this is big news. That part's going to be like itineraries. You're going to have to do probably some bribing to be able to get like an actual itinerary of what the wedding would be like day to day. So that is going to be a role, which you can do if you'd like. What are you going to roll for that? What does one roll to find shit out? I don't know. I guess it depends. It depends on how you plan on doing it. How do you plan on getting the information about the itinerary? What is your plan for that?
To use my criminal networks to...
Okay, yes, but how do you want them to do it? There's more than one way to get information, right? They can bribe somebody. You can try to, like, you can have one of your criminals be like, hey, go sleep with the guy, the wedding planner and get information. Like, there's more than one way. So looking at your abilities and maybe what you're proficient in, what would be the way that you think would be the best way for you to accomplish that?
Honestly, the connections I would most easily have access to are like security for the event.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have to know everything, right? When people are arriving, when stuff happens, when people leave, because they're security.
Mm-hmm.
So myself, Dave's like, hey, this is what I would ask if I was on security. So yeah, that's I would work that enforcer background to find out who had gotten the job, and then look them up.
Okay. So you can do persuasion or deception on getting that information.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll do persuasion.
Okay.
That's good.
That's really good. So you don't get.
She's very charismatic.
Yeah, so you don't get like a copy of the itinerary, but you get somebody to sort of explain it to you more or less step by step. So step by step, the party is supposed to be all day. So there's just an all day party. And there are plans for there to be multiple bands, multiple groups playing throughout the whole day. Pretty much it's a 24-hour ordeal. So it'll start sunrise on the day of the solstice. People will come in, have breakfast, and this is supposed to be citywide. So there are those plans for like a festival to do. So there's going to be sort of people meandering in and out. Some of the special guests are going to be staying at the. This will happen at Moonshadow Keep. So some of the guests are staying at the keep at their their nice rooms and whatnots, and they'll get a chance to have breakfast buffets and entertainers all day long. The wedding, so there's going to be different performers throughout the whole day. The wedding itself is to happen at sunset, which on this solstice will be at 9:30 p.m. So 9:30 p.m. is when the wedding will happen. They want it to happen when as the sun is setting. And at that point, they have the wedding, they say the vows, and then more parties into the night with more bands playing throughout the whole night so that the party itself ends the next morning at sunrise, which at this time of the year will be at about 4:45 in the morning.
Okay.
So that's loosely the itinerary you got.
Exactly when it says completed by solstice, exactly when is do we have to have it completed
midnight, I imagine.
Midnight or
the solstice technically at this point would happen at 9:30 p.m. on the solstice. So as soon as the sun sets on that day. Okay. Now this isn't from wearing these packed bracelet or these packed strings that it's not like if you fail you don't get it done immediately, it immediately tightens and you lose your hand. It's over the following month, it slowly tightens and tightens and tightens. So you do have
but the contract would still be void.
Yeah, but the pack string isn't. If you fit
we want to get it done. It's just what time do we have exactly? Do we have to have it done? You
have till about then. It's around 9:30 is when you should get it done by.
Okay.
It's of course it's on the longest day.
Yeah. Well, you'll have shadows, but probably the least amount of shadows for the day. Yeah.
Illyri also, because she is a follower of Asmodeus, who is the master of contract law, noted that the agreement said that that the death has to be attributed to Trigot. It doesn't have she doesn't have to be framed for the actual murder. She just has to be attributed. So, for instance,
it says the other 50% will be delivered upon the successful conviction.
Yeah. So she's got to be. So it's got to stick. Whatever evidence.
Right, but if she hired somebody to do it, she would the law still cover that?
You'd have to somehow have evidence that she hired somebody to do it,
like forging a receipt.
If that's what you need to do, then yes.
From a rival guild.
Yeah. You certainly can do that. That is the way to do that.
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. If we decide to go the poison route, we'll have to buy it with names of people in the other guild to set up a paper trail.
Do we know how sturdy is Frederick?
How sturdy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to know how badly would I need to poison him?
Hasn't he been hidden away?
Yeah, considering that he's hidden away, and this picture is probably a somewhat it's one of those it's closer to a police sketch than anything else. How accurate is it?
Use enough to kill a hell giant.
You definitely Victoria does not have the being stuck inside problem. That's just Frederick.
Okay, so he might be there's a chance he's either just a recluse, like he's just an extreme introvert, or he has is suffering from something.
Yeah. For all you know, he could just be working out this whole time and is just super jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you really don't know what his build is going to be unless you
One last
find a way to ask
thing.
somebody.
Can I use my security connections to find out who's in charge of hiring the performers?
At 19, your 19 persuasion, yeah, he did. The guy that you know tells you it's a gentleman by the name of Eric the Bull, they call him.
Eric the Bull. Okay.
Eric the Bull. He is a person who is he's kind of like a wedding planner. He's a D&D wedding planner.
Okay.
That's the person who's doing the hiring, not the catering, but hiring the catering and all that. He would be the person to get to.
Okay. All right. Those are pretty much my questions. I feel like I've been talking a lot, so I'm going to let Jess
That's fine.
Chrisiosity.
Hmm.
Scheme.
All right. Well, I'd be concerned that Tigget Zigget doesn't have any reason to kill this guy. I think we have to find out more about her.
I agree. I definitely agree.
So how do you plan on finding this out?
Well, you say that she has lots of pretty jewelry. Maybe we could go and look at the jewelry.
Sure. Which, what do you mean by look at the jewelry? Do you want to go to a jewelry shop and check out her wares? Do you want to go? She's part of she's a head of the gem cutters guild. So there's a guild house. By the way, just so you guys have something slightly different to look at, here is the city of Moonshadow.
Oh, cool.
So you are very familiar with most of these buildings. You're not, it's really just a matter of asking me where things are, but you know where things are. You've lived in the city. This isn't a new city to you.
Would there be is there a tabloid magazine, like a newspaper, like something where like sleazy rumors about the royals and nobles would be, where we could possibly find something about this elf?
Sure. There's a newspaper called the Crescent Moon, that you can just buy at any corner, really, if you want to.
Okay, so over the next 4 or 5 days, I'm gonna buy one or get a hold of one each of these and try and see if I can find anything about any rumors about the gnome.
What about the guild? Yeah, and the guild library too. See if her name is check in there.
You can either roll me insight or investigation, and we'll see what you find with either of those.
I'm gonna do insight. That's probably not gonna help.
The tabloids are filled with potential guest lists of who's coming to the wedding. There you do see there's a lot of high end nobles and other guild heads. There's the captain of the navy. Those kinds of things, and there's a little bit of gossip of how are Rosa and Wyan really in love, or is it just for show? Things like that.
Wedding bullshit.
Oh, it's my favorite. So romantic. Can we? I'm gonna follow her.
Gonna follow her? Who?
Follow her around. I'm gonna go follow the Tigget Zigget.
Okay. Roll me a stealth.
Okay.
Come on,
I'd
roll
like
for
to
it.
do something.
I'm going to cast Pass Without Trace first, too.
Okay.
Nice.
So that gives you advantage, right?
No, it gets
No,
plus
it's
7.
plus 10.
Plus
So-
10, so 29. You almost get that. At 29, you're pretty much okay. So you have a detailed map of Zigget's kind of daily schedule. Zigget lives over in this area over here. If you saw that paint. She's this is weirdly enough, this isn't the gnomish neighborhood. This is a dwarven neighborhood. So this is where a lot of the dwarves live, but it's also where there are mines to the north. And so this is where a lot of the just the raw materials from the mines make it into this part of the city first before they go anywhere else. Zigget is a very hardworking lady. She is up at the crack of dawn every day, does her jazzercise and whatnots, and then heads to outside the city walls, which is here, and herself inspects all the goods that she buys. She's a haggler and spends about, from around 7 in the morning till almost about 12 to 1 in the afternoon. She spends her morning outside the city gates inspecting every piece of gem that she buys. Her gems are then delivered to a gem cutting to the guild house. Pretty much, the guild house is this is her house. First floor, guild house. All the merchandise makes it there. It's where it gets cut and then distributed from this place. On the second floor is where Zigget herself lives. You have yet to see anybody live with her. She seems to it's just her. You've never seen anybody else go. You see her come in and out of the building, but mostly you see her come in by herself. So you've never seen anybody else go into her home with her. She does like to have, a lunch across the street at a nice little, dwarven restaurant that's across the street that has some really good steak and beer.
Does she mark her jewelry with her brand or something where it's traceable?
She'll do, for the most part, no, but she does do, if you go to the guild house, you can find like custom jewelry that she signs with not, the stamp of the guild. And that's hers. For jewelry itself, for just cut stones, they just get distributed to other, to jewelers to make jewelry with. But there are custom designed jewelry by Zigget.
But nothing that directly if we leave that as evidence, that could literally be anyone who bought.
Yeah, well, if it's a custom job, she's more likely to probably try to remember who she made it for.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
That was an idea.
Yeah, it was a good idea.
We could just steal something specifically from her. Could we not?
It shouldn't be that hard to get through her things. She has very poor security by our
Yeah,
standards.
she really does. She really doesn't have a whole lot of security. Everybody knows who she is, and she doesn't.
I think we should go pay her apartment a visit. What we can find.
Is she a well-known gem cutter in the city?
Oh yeah, no. This is especially in the Dwarven district. Everybody knows who she is. Everybody wants to buy her stuff, especially her custom stuff. It sells for. You can get on the lower end, it's thousands of gold on the lower end, and on the higher end, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of gold to get one of her custom made pieces.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about her being, if there's a way to, for instance, put poison on a raw, kind of a Game of Thrones, drop a pearl into a glass sort of thing, and she would be the person who would have the means to use that stone in that way. But tying her, like leave clues. Don't just leave a signed receipt. That might be a little too obvious. We could put a receipt in her house. We could plant it on the day after she left the house. But
then we would need some way for to make sure someone searches her house.
Right, we need to leave a clue to point toward her, and then leave more incriminating evidence in her house.
Yep.
Are there any rival Assassin's Guilds?
There are 2 smaller ones. Compared to you all, they do mundane shit. One is called the Firebrand, and by their names are kind of pyromaniacs. They're more like insurance fraud kind of deal, where they'll burn down a building and be like, "Oh no, why did this building burn down?" I guess I gotta get insurance money. So they're that's more them. I think there's a kobold named Erasmus that might run it. I don't know.
Something Erasmus would do in his later days.
But yeah, so those are the Firebrand. You also have the other one that's a little bit more serious, but they do assassinations, but mostly do bodyguard contracts. They're less into the assassinating thing. And the assassinating thing is kind of very much so in on the down low.
No.
And they're called the Toad. That's just their name, the Toad.
What about a guild based really far away? She'd hire out a contract outside the city.
Yeah. Another big one.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to do some research into what the other big ones are. You have a whole library, so it wouldn't take you a whole lot, but you would have to do, again, probably an investigation in your library to find what would be a suitable other guild to do that with.
I'm not great at investigation. If someone else is,
me neither.
They don't have it.
Let me see. If I don't do it very well, then John Morley can do it.
Maybe he can help you.
Come on, roll 20.
Roll 20. Why are you being like this today? Why are you being like this all the time?
We're trying to be on a roll here. Nope.
You're gonna? Is John gonna try? John can try too.
Okay.
If John wants to dig through the library, he certainly can try.
No.
Okay. No. I mean, you are the best of the best.
Yeah,
any other guild is so far away that would take on such a job, would be so far away and so ludicrously expensive to hire that no one in their right mind would do it. It's just too far.
None of them would probably want to encroach on our territory.
Yeah, there's nobody out there for that.
So blaming it on someone else is probably, at least if it's a rival guild, there might be some. It has to be someone with the means.
You're right.
To kill
and the opportunity.
Yes.
Is she going to be at the wedding?
Zigit will. She is one of the guests. Okay. That's why the wedding is kind of the opportune time, is you will have all 3 of those people at that wedding.
Would it be against the rules to have it seem like she hired us?
You'd probably be breaking your own rules about disclosing your secrets.
Okay, fair enough. That's what I was wondering. Otherwise, that would be a really good strategy.
You probably would be breaking your own rules and be hefty punishment for that. Okay. You people know that you do this, so no one would be surprised. But the guild has some good lawyers, and you'd be revealing secrets, and I forget what the punishment was. I think your family would get killed.
Yes,
and you. Yeah. So.
I don't have a family, so
we'd find a way.
Unless they want to go back and kill an entire random tribe of wrong.
They might actually go kill your tribe.
Well, assuming they can find them.
Oh, they can. I wouldn't put past the skill to go
okay.
find your tribe.
Okay, so that's not an option. That would otherwise would have been really fun. Because we wouldn't even have to forge anything. We would literally just. Okay.
Do these human Victoria and Frederick, do they have any spawn?
Do they have any spawn? That is a question that I did not expect. Let's see. Let's do with even they do and odd they don't. They do not have any spawn, which might explain why Victoria might want to off her husband too.
Does the husband and Ziggit know each other? Have they had any dealing?
They don't. They've never directly met because Frederick is obviously a recluse or some variety, and doesn't leave his house. But they are in competition. So, well, not necessarily in competition as much as Frederick would like to, and Victoria would like to encroach onto the dwarven territory. And there are in newspapers past and history, that there's been talks of acquisitions that have all ended sourly.
Oh, a motive.
Well, I think we have to do something to make that motive look a little more motive-y.
Like damage her goods somehow, attack her shop.
Oh, yes. Excellent idea. We damage the goods, and make it seem. But that's adding more additional links to this chain of evidence.
What if we disguised ourselves as, what is he, a lord or a king?
Yeah, he's a lord, not a king. Nobleman of some,
What if we disguised ourselves as some of these noblemen's lackeys and set fire to some of her warehouses?
Maybe we do enough. We can even get her to hire us herself.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I think putting on
do in these 30 days for one of your, as time passes.
I would love to do that.
We want to set things on fire. Setting things on fire is super easy, especially at your level. None of you are going to struggle to set a fire.
the thing is that
it looked like it was a costumes and whatever you need to making it look like it was somebody else. That's going to be the trick.
I don't need a costume. I simply transform myself into one of the king's men.
Okay. So we'll do an average roll if you're, or whoever's participating in this little thing. An average roll of deception to see how deceptive you all are together.
I would like to do something. This is what I wanted to do.
Okay, sure. What do you want to do?
I'm going to go into whatever warehouse district, and create a major illusion of a crowd of men approaching the warehouse. Then I'm going to simply set it on fire with magic. The men will disperse into the darkness and disappear.
Major illusion, the one that has sound or no sound?
Major illusion has sound, visibility, heat signatures, and everything else.
Perfect.
It's like it's there.
It's literally
looks like it's there. Yeah. Perfect. You go ahead. Big fire roars. The next day, you check through the paper, and indeed there's talk. The newspaper, the headlines all about this fire, and there are eyewitness reports stating that they saw men from House Kupta in the warehouse area before the fire occurred, and there is talk about an investigation starting soon on why these fires were occurred. But currently the city guard are a little busy with security. However, they are definitely, it's on their mind. Also, you know, mess with the Lord or
I hope Victoria doesn't mind the fact we have sort of just damaged her reputation as well.
It wasn't in the contract, so you are. As far as you're concerned, you are doing what is in the contract. She didn't say anything about her reputation.
It's not like she knows that we did this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And with the illusion, she has no idea that you did this. So she is. You don't know this, but I'm sure she's having some words with her husband about.
I'd also like to do something else on a different day.
Sure.
I want to scry on this lord.
Lord, okay. Scry lets you know his position, right?
Nope, Scry lets me literally look in on him as if I'm looking at him in a little camera.
Yep.
One day, sometime around evening, perhaps, when you would be relaxing after a dinner, I will simply look in on him for about 10 minutes. He can make a save. He doesn't know he's being scried on, but he does make a save. It is a DC 18 wisdom save.
Ooh, what is your wisdom, Mr. Lord? Because he got a 17, so he's got a 1. He's good game here.
Hold on.
I mean, you have multiple days. You can just keep trying.
Yeah, I can just keep. He also doesn't know if he makes it.
So he the first day you try and you can't get anything off of him.
Next time you're gonna do it, let me know. The next day, you're gonna skip a day, or we're gonna do some stuff before you try again.
Why?
I'm just wondering how many days are going by. Like, if we have to...
At this point, with the fire burning, the research, you've eaten up about 5 days.
Okay.
You got about 25 days left.
Plenty of time.
When I know my colleague is about to scry, I just pat him on the back and say, "Well, you can't do worse than you did last time. Hey, you got a bardic inspiration die. Good for 10 minutes.
I don't know that I roll anything.
No, you don't roll it. You Frederick rolls against a DC 18.
I see. I thought he was
it's not a contested thing. It's just yeah. And he rolled a 17. He's got +2, so he's
oh, you know what? Actually, because I have a picture of him, it's a -2 to his roll.
Oh, so you got a 17. God. At a 7 at this, you said you're doing this in the evening?
Yeah.
You see Frederick is in his what looks like a study.
Mm-hmm.
So you look down. He's got books in front of him. He's got parchment. Looks like accounting garbage. So D&D Excel sheet in front of him.
Does he look? How does he look health-wise?
Health-wise, he is a big dude. He has not spent his quarantine time exercising. He has instead spent it. You see on his desk there is a bowl of grapes, and that's mostly ignored, and a bowl that looks like it's used to contain some sort of meat, but currently just contains a lot of bones of things. And as you're watching, you said 10 minutes, right?
Yep, I have 10 minutes.
As you're watching, you can you hear?
Yes, I can hear.
You hear a knock at Frederick's study, and he says, "Come in." And out comes a very, very young girl, probably not even 18 yet. And he's like, "Oh, it's that night." And proceeds to not be faithful to his wife.
Okay, then.
Oh, by the way, I'd like to go and maybe take my drum playing colleague, and we're going to go talk to the person who books for the weddings in order to get hired onto that.
You can do either, because you can either perform for him and do a performance, or you can just try to talk to him. Up to you.
I'll do a performance, but I'm going to use Mantle of Inspiration. No, not Mantle of Inspiration. Sorry, wrong one. Enthralling Performance. If I get to perform for at least a minute, I can attempt to inspire wonder in my audience. At the end of the performance, I get to choose a number of humanoids, up to 4, plus my charisma modifier, and they have to succeed on a wisdom saving throw against my saving spell. Otherwise, they're charmed by me.
Okay.
Then they idolize you, and they speak glowing of you to anyone who speaks about me.
That's wonderful. I love it.
So
Okay, go for it.
I think they just have to roll a DC. They have to just roll against my DC.
Oh god, they filled the shit out of that. They got a 2. Okay, so at a 2, they love you. They are just head over heels over you, and whoever else you took to perform with you. Who else did you take to perform with you?
Well, who's coming with me?
Who's going to come to this audition?
Not me.
Did you want me to
Yeah.
sing?
Come along. So basically, when I see that it's working, I get her to join in as well. So the 3 of us become.
They love it. They're like, oh, this new alternative music is just the best. Like, yeah. So no, they are more than enthralled with you. What was his name? The Bull.
Yes, Eric.
Eric the Bull. Eric the Bull tells you that he definitely has a spot for you, and for such a glowing performance, he will give you the best spot in the house. You will be playing from 9:30 to 10:30, so you'll be playing right before the wedding itself, and then right after the wedding.
Oh, right. Excellent. All right. Well, we're set. And then we can kind of lounge around the rest of the day and enjoy the
this only
festivities.
gets you and Snip in there, because that's your band right now. So you're going to have to figure out how to get the other 2.
No, the drum player. No, because he plays the drums. So we took him
Is the Road Dog coming along then?
Yeah, he did come along. I thought that was understood because he played the drums.
Yeah.
He had proficiency.
Okay. So that's get you 3 of you are having it now.
I can get in. Like it doesn't even matter. Like I can get in. I can be as long as I have like dim light, I can be invisible. So
okay, yeah, you can get in.
I can probably just walk in, basically. Also, people don't look up, and I can literally crawl on the ceiling.
That's helpful. Yes, when people are partying, they're less likely to look at the ceiling.
Yeah. On the night, you're going to have to make a stealth check.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. The other of you are in for free, but Ash is going to have to make a stealth check just to get in.
Is that an all-day pass, by the way? Do we get in from like the whole time?
Do you want to ask to get in for the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we might be asking. Look, we're so good. We could, people might want to do some requests to get very excited for the big performance later on. Little samplers,
Little samplers. Eric thinks this is a fabulous idea, and he says, "Yes, of course you can." I bet the guards would love to hear you play, and there will be people all over the place. Of course.
Oh, of course, I'll play for the guards. I'll definitely play for the guards.
Just show up, and he hands you. He doesn't hand you anything because you just did an audition. He tells you to stop by his office more or less the next day and pick up like formal invitations. Just say like, "Hey, we're part of the band. Let us in."
Okay, will do.
I would like to look over the guest list and see if there's anyone on it who would be likely to be able to have the magic to see invisible creatures.
How are you going to get that guest list?
Well, we got it.
No.
Yes, we did.
You got told an itinerary. You did not physically get it.
Well, I thought the guest list was there was speculations about it in the paper.
You can investigate the people that you've read in the paper so far that are.
That's what I mean.
Okay,
so you can possible guest list, I would probably do this I would go with the more likely rumors.
Yeah, so these are rumors though, so keep that in mind. Yeah. These aren't
I know
hard facts.
I just want to know if I'm what are my chances that I could just walk up and put something in his drink and.
Yep. You can either do an investigation or an arcana since you're looking for magic usury people, whichever one you're better at.
It's the same.
Or history. I'll let you do a history too, since. You're looking through some.
Would you like me to help you? Then you could maybe do it with
Yes.
advantage. Okay. Oh, look at all the names, all the people.
Names and all the
I'm gonna
books.
go with investigation. It doesn't really matter. Nope.
There are a whole lot of books for you to go through, and just too many names. Too many of them are similar. You have a slightly better idea of some of the people. Like, you know that at an 11, you know that at least 2 or 3 of the people on there are also nobles. The very obvious one is you are gonna have sort of ahead of each section of the city there. So Frederick and Victoria are kind of the head of the human section. God, I already forgot your name. Damn it. Ziggit that's oddly enough the head of the dwarf, which is a little weird, but it's fine. You also have a head of the this section down here, which is mostly there's a wizarding college and that kind of stuff there. So it's another human, but is kind of their section of the city is known for magic things.
Okay, so no, there's a chance they might be able to see me. It's kind of complicated. Hold on. So it says that my invisibility lasts until I enter an area of bright light or cast a spell or attack. Would putting something in a drink count as an attack or an action? Would that drop?
It can be an action, especially if you're going to do. Yeah.
And I'm going.
Is it a free action or a regular action? That is a good.
It doesn't really matter because a cup is always going to be in bright light. No one places their cup in. So, okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I think we should plan how to get in first, and then once we figured out how we're all in, we should decide what the best way to kill him is.
Yeah, because I have Mage Hand.
Some means of long distance communication might not be a bad idea. We might not necessarily all be together in a way where we can talk easily.
That's a good idea.
Does someone have telepathy?
I'm looking.
Yeah, I remember something about that. Oh, but it was a different one.
No, I chose witch sight instead.
There are objects you can use. Stones.
They're probably attunable though.
Oh yeah, I can send the message spell.
Message is
okay.
Yeah, you have message. Message though. What are they called?
Here, I'll just click it. There you go.
Message is just and there are stones. I don't think they need attunement for those stones.
I'll look them up in a bit.
I don't think there are, but I'd rule that they aren't. They're just stones because it's a pair. It's a pair of stones. One person gets one stone, the other person gets another stone. That does exist.
Do we want to split up our teams? Maybe a couple of us would focus on doing the actual killing, and 2 of us would focus on the framing?
Probably a good idea, yeah. It also really depends on how are we gonna kill him.
Well, I do think the poisoning is a good idea, but we might want to have some backup too, especially as we know that he's a big dude. He likes his food.
Probably.
I could hurl him through hell.
How do you frame a gnome for murder?
Well, we already went down there.
We have a motive.
You have a motive.
We have created the motive.
And we have an opportunity because she's at the wedding and we're at the wedding.
I think we can. I know between myself and John Morley, we can set up rumors.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm.
The thing is, she's single, right? And he likes to have affairs.
Ziggit is single. Frederick, okay, I'll tell you this much. Frederick, you have seen have affairs with a very, very young human girl.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah. Oh no. Not quite at the ew, but definitely at like the like
No, it's ew.
not a pedophile, but definitely like 17, 16-year-old girl.
Ugh, okay.
Profile.
Does let's leave that and go with the jewelry thing. We can set up rumors around the town that have them fighting. Actually, so she's a hardworking gnome.
Mm-hmm.
So is she at all? She's known as a pretty straight shooting person, a moral person, an upstanding citizen.
I would assume so.
You can roll. Can you roll for that? You can roll. I would say either an insight or I would say an insight. You can roll an insight to see you. Okay. So between you and John, you go out and you talk to people. She appears, for the most part, she has a demeanor of being. She's very hardworking, that's for sure. And she's got a demeanor of treating everyone really well. Most of her employees speak very highly of her, give sick days, health care. They have a union. Very, very upstanding. People are shocked that somebody would try to burn down her warehouses, because who would have such horrible intent for someone so nice?
How is she feeling about it?
About what? Oh, about the
attack.
She's confused again, because she's while the acquisitions in the past haven't turned out well, she didn't think that they was to the point of arson. Like it was like, this is my company, I built it from the ground, like I don't want to sell it to you for that reason. But she didn't think it would get to the point where like now all of a sudden someone's trying to burn down her ship.
Okay, so she might possibly believe the rumors that it's.
Yeah,
okay,
she seems to be, if nothing else, contemplating that they might be true. That House Kupta burnt down her warehouses. She doesn't want to believe it because she believes people are good.
Any of the people that works with her youngish women?
Any of the people that work with her youngish women, you can either stealth something out or investigate something for that.
I can stealth it out or investigate.
Like you can either be like follow her around and see who works with her. I guess you already did that, so you already have a 29 on that. She's got most of the people that work for her are dwarfs, obviously, because she lives in the dwarven city. You have seen a younger dwarf that hangs around with her a little bit. She seems to be an intern, gets her her sandwiches across the street and whatnots. But she's a dwarf.
Probably not his type.
Still, so I'm going. Well, let's decide between us. Are we splitting up our into two teams, or are we gonna just do this all together?
That depends on how we're gonna frame her. If we frame her by placing something beforehand.
Yeah, I think that they're kind of trying to do means, motive, and opportunity all at once instead of. But I guess that's part of we have to find things out. So Yeah, there's kind of like different phases, right? So we have access to her house. We know we can get in there pretty easily. And we have access to the venue now. The question is, and we're hinting at the motive, but she's not really helping because she's such a nice person. So we've got to find ways of ticking her off a bit more. Maybe a threatening letter to her house?
No letters, nothing that's going to be traceable to anything.
Maybe just a brick through the window?
Or perhaps simply a visit from someone.
Yeah, that would also help. And then we have to figure out how she would commit the murder in a way that's plausible. If we're not going to try to frame her like hiring someone to help her do it. Mm-hmm. So that's probably from her position, like poison. Because unless we're going to do some sort of illusion of her running up and stabbing him in the middle of the room while someone else has her distracted on the other end of the courtyard. I don't know how we're going to do that.
I would like to, at some point, while preferably in the evening, an evening where she's not at home, I would like to go into her personal living quarters and see what she has. Does she have anything that would anything signs of how she would possibly kill someone? Should she?
What are you looking for that?
A big gun that says murder.
A big gun with her signature on it.
If she has
belongs to.
I mean, if she has an alchemy table, she could.
Okay, that's more specific. I think that's a better request.
Does she have an alchemy table? Does she have anything that would be used for creating stealthy weapons? Does she have any stealthy weapons, stuff like that? Any clues like that?
Okay, so from what Snip has told you, she works pretty much every day. She does take Sundays off, so Sundays are the only day that she isn't in her. She might potentially not be in her home in the evening. Pretty much every day she's got a very regular schedule, and she's home at the evenings working at her desk.
I will just go in while she sleeps.
So you are currently at day 10 with all your shenanigans. The next Sunday from day 10 is in.
No, I'm not even gonna wait. I'm gonna go in at night while she's asleep.
You're going at night while she's asleep, and you want to go into her room or where do you want to go into to look for things?
Well, the floor, her house.
Her whole floor.
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay, so you want to investigate her whole floor. So it's going to be a stealth to get in there without making a mess, and then it's going to be an investigate to see what you find.
Okay. That's 31.
Yeah, no, you do fine. You're unnecessarily.
Plus I'm gonna go invisible.
Yeah, the Mission Impossible theme song is playing while you do it.
I'm humming it. Plus I'm invisible, so I'm not there basically. Again, investigation.
Yep, an investigation to see what you find that it might potentially be.
17.
Probably the closest that you could find. She's got jeweler's tools, which are for cutting jewels, which are sharp because they cut jewels. Otherwise, she's just got pen and paper and ink.
Is there?
She's got a pouch that's a little. There's a pouch that's a little funky. That looks a little funky. You don't really know what it's. You can roll an Arcana to try to figure it out, but you don't really know.
I'll do that.
You have no idea what it is. Okay. It's a pouch. It looks weird.
Does she have a diary?
Does she have a diary? At 17, yeah, you find not a diary. It's just a not necessarily a diary, but you can kind of piece together what she does for her work through all of the bills and stuff. Nothing personal. Oh, everything's very professional.
Okay.
Very professional woman.
But she does have stabby things.
She does have stabby things. She does have jeweler's tools.
Well.
And for gem cutting.
Yeah, but stabbing him to death with one of them would require like it would require.
I could do it.
Yeah, but how are you gonna do that at a wedding where he's gonna be with people all the time and make it look like her?
Well, that's a whole other problem.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, hold on. Why are we even trying to frame her? We could just directly frame her. We have a person who could just turn into her.
I mean, you can. There's going to be 2 of them if you're not careful. So
Yeah, we'll have to kidnap her
Obviously.
and
Yeah.
take her somewhere.
So you could try that, but you run the risk of there being 2 Ziggets at the same place, and
Or we prevent the real one from coming to the wedding.
I like that idea.
That's
I can easily concoct something that would prevent her from that would make her sick enough that she wouldn't be able to go. And since she lives alone, no one is gonna be it's not like she's gonna have a partner that's gonna show up at the wedding and say, "Oh, she couldn't come."
All
So
right.
that's a possibility. That's an option.
I like the idea of a backup plan. I think that that's a really good strategy. So it depends on which one we want to go with, our main strategy and then a backup strategy.
Yeah. Well, the backup strategy should probably be the simplest option because it's gonna be more like a panic thing.
Correct. I was,
And you're gonna
I can charm people and get on his, try to get near his food or his drink or something and distract him. But that's a higher risk. And so, but so she doesn't come. We impersonate her, and then what does she do at the wedding?
She stabs him and kills him. And
Well,
then
she's going to have
runs.
to kind of set something up. Like she'll need to get drunk and complain to people because she has this character that's people are expecting her to be very nice. So if she shows up
But
and
if
just
people-
stabs him, they won't believe
if-
it.
If they see her do it,
Well, who are you going to believe? Her or your lying eyes?
Mhm.
I think I will have to do.
And just a reminder, you do have potential wizards in this place.
oh yeah,
So just to remind you, you don't know how powerful they are, but there are potential wizards in this place who you might be able to see through that illusion. You don't know if there are, but I just wanted
So we'll have to make
that's
sure their
true.
eyes are somewhere completely different, like on our awesome band or something.
Well, the problem is that one of the band people would also be the one of the people who can turn into her.
Well, we don't always have to all be up there at the same time. We'll do different songs in different combinations.
I don't know that can grow. I believe the disguise self spell lets me go a foot shorter.
Oh, I thought it was the other one.
Mm-mm.
So you can be so you're going to be a
okay,
tall
never mind.
gnome if you want to do that.
Never mind then.
It's a good idea. It's just you're going to have to figure out a better way to. If you can
I mean,
figure out a better way to
I'm-
disguise yourself.
How tall is she?
Gnomish height. How tall are gnomes?
I'm like 3 feet.
Gnomes are. Are you really 3 feet? I thought you were taller. I don't know why you thought you were taller.
No, the drunks are small.
I don't know why. I thought,
3 and
I
4
thought you were.
are between 3 and 4 feet tall and average about 40 pounds.
She rolled a 13, so she's going to be the average
So 3.5 foot tall.
3.5 feet.
Okay, so I would be slightly small. So we don't really have a way of I don't think we have a way of disguising me as a gnome. Like I'm not really.
Well, I have an item
I
to
won't
pick.
be able. Like
I have
I
an
won't be
item
able
to
to-
pick yet, and I could get the disguise hat, and give it to you to wear.
yeah, until I speak.
Well, then just don't speak. Just show up and damn it, yeah, you can't speak. What about illusion? What about a combination between the real life and CGI?
I mean, the problem is that there's no way for me to cast. Like I can cast minor illusion, but that doesn't really help us because they would see me casting it.
Right, but you don't have to be the one always casting it. I've got illusion. Other people have illusion. We just have to time it correctly between
But
the dialogue.
illusions can't move.
Well, she
is
could
the
stand
thing.
there and rant
Well, no,
drunkenly.
what I mean, but they can make sound.
Yes, they can make sound. But like if you were like walking into the building and people were like, "Oh, what you did?" Blah blah, couldn't make you illusion the sound of you talking and following you.
Yeah, that's true.
The other thing that we could do is if we could find a place where we could bring them off to one side, we could get the guy out, kill him, and get her there at the same time. And
Yeah, yes, and then we disappear, and she's like, "No, someone else. But you're the only one here. Obviously, you did it, and you have a motive. Look, you're even holding the murder weapon. But how the fuck would we do like that?
Oh, well, maybe we can get one of her jewelry tools to use as the murder weapon.
But you would notice that was gone.
Well,
not if we did it right that day.
True.
So, just a reminder of the itinerary: the party is a whole day thing. You don't know when Ziggit will go there, but there is a possibility that she will be there not just at 9:30. That is, the wedding is 24 hours, really.
Yeah.
the other option is to kidnap her on site, which means scoping out the location and figuring out where we would nab her or charm her, and then where we would take her and keep her, and then also what to do with her afterwards. How do we frame her if she's...
Well, she would know. She would just say no. Like, I mean, if she starts telling them that like some people kidnapped her.
Yeah, I see where you're going. Yeah. Well, but okay. Well, that would be...
We need a map, I think. First of all, we need a map.
Oh,
How
it's the key.
How do you plan on getting that?
I can.
Me and John Morley, we also have criminals that we can hang out with.
You can hang out with. Okay.
Or like, I mean, we can just. There's probably building plans, history books that would contain like how this building looks inside, at least in like.
All right, I can send John Morley in, and I can even go with him, and he's much more charming than I am, so.
So you want to go into the keep?
Well, no, I want to go and get something through the criminal networks. I want John to find something through those criminal networks.
Sure, you can persuasion and see what people are willing to give you.
Ba-boom!
Bam.
Oh, okay. You get okay. There's the keep. That's it. You pretty much with that kind of roll, you pretty much have a bird's eye view of it. The middle is the Great Hall. That is where the wedding will be held. You have a temple, and then just the whole there's a temple to the side of it that's for worship and things. And then pretty much the rest of the buildings are like servant buildings, storage, stables, barracks, those kinds of things. And then with that,
Do they live there?
They live over here.
Okay.
This is kind of so Great Hall. This is where all the housing is, spare bedrooms for the guests who are going to be there.
Are they higher up in the like noble hierarchy than all the other people who live outside?
This is the keep. This is the king and queen of the kingdom. This is their home.
So they're the king and the queen.
No, this is where the wedding is being held.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. The wedding is being held. The wedding is between Rosa, who is the current princess.
They're only. So wait. So where do Victoria and
I can get you
Frederick
another
live?
one, but let me try to.
Where do they live?
Make a copy of you. Sorry.
Where do Victoria and Frederick live?
I think I pinged it on the map a bit ago, and they live. or maybe not. Maybe I didn't ping it. They live in the humans part of the city, which is here.
Okay.
So yeah, somewhere in the human part. I don't think you just looked at them. So besides the human side, that's all you know. You don't actually know their exact building yet.
Just like have an idea.
Mhm.
Okay, so they're gonna go. They're presumably gonna be at the wedding the whole day. Possibly. I mean, the nobles.
Yeah.
Like nobles, like you kind of have to do that.
Mm.
Like you don't get to come and go and only be there like 2 hours if you're a noble. I don't think the king.
Many from your role earlier about the itinerary, you know that a lot of nobles are spending the night at the keep. So they're going to be there like the day before and then the day after and spending the night. So because the party does start early in the morning, so they're kind of expected to be there.
So we could also maybe forge a letter in the gnome's name, like threatening to have him leave her alone and leave it in their room.
After they've gone, yeah, that's a good idea.
In their room at the castle, or in the room at
the room home? Where they're staying, like put it with their other papers.
Oh, I thought you meant like put it at like their personal house while they're out.
Well, but on the day of, they're sleeping over there the night of. She would have had the opportunity to like slide it under the door or something. And then the lady...
So you know that the nobles are expected to do that. Guild members, how much they're expected to is... Well,
she would maybe be able to get to their lodges and slide a letter under his door, not necessarily stay overnight. Yep. I was thinking.
That is potentially possible.
And of course, Victoria will be happy to find the letter and hand it over to the authorities. So we don't have to worry about her being off book.
Hold on. Speaking of that, if she's in on it, like we have someone on the inside. Like presumably she would be able to give us information.
Well,
like,
I think the whole point of hiring the guild was to get her hands clean, right?
Yeah, she doesn't want anything to do with us.
Well, no, but she can still give us information. If she's already gone to the trouble of hiring us,
then the less that she knows, the better it is.
Yeah, fair point.
I mean, you can try. Nothing's stopping you from trying. What that outcome is going to be is...
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to tell you. You can try.
No, it's a stupid idea.
Along with the floor plans, the view of the keep itself, you also have this, which is the view of the actual Grand Hall.
Cool.
Oh. I'm assuming there's going to be tables with stuff on...
Probably. This would be in black and white or whatever. I just don't have a black and white version.
That's fine.
You know, it's a schematic drawing of it. So you don't know. Yeah, you don't know anything besides this is what it's going to look like on the inside.
Mm.
You can make whatever assumptions about everything else on your own.
Yeah, like where the band would be set up. Sorry, go ahead.
What if we went into her home and then put like demonic runes somewhere in her house, and then we just did some horrible spell to him and he died, and then somehow framed it that way, and then in her house there's horrible demonic runes.
I love that idea. Can we make... Hold on. We have 2 people who have access to like demonic bad people power things. So like we can actually make it look real. So even if the wizards would go to check, they would be, oh no, she really was in like that's brilliant. I want to go with that plan.
So think about who would get framed in that situation.
Her. Well, we've got to make it look out as if she's the one who has summoned up the spell to do these things.
So you want to make it look like Ziggit.
Yes. Yes. We want.
So your plan is to make the goody two shoes who...
Well, if we put runes all over her home, she's secretly Secretly a Satanist.
Secretly a Satanist.
It's always the people you expect the least.
It's all been a racket.
Yeah, we'll just watch her house till she leaves and then go do the stuff, plant the evidence, and then head off to the party after her, keep an eye on her, whatever else. But yeah, I like that plan too. Goes with the framing element. Good. So,
we can I'm looking it up now. I know that there is we can actually do like a rumor mill kinds of thing. What book is that in?
by the way, it's been like a couple days since the arson. Are we going to kind of keep up the harassment too? We should talk about that after Christiosity's done.
Yeah. These are like day 12 now.
Okay.
My idea was that next we do is we we stage a break-in. Perhaps me and my brother appear dressed as guards. Sunday, when she goes to church, 2 guards for some reason bust open her front door and knock a few things over before leaving.
Do you want to help them out with your rumor mill there, Chrissy?
Which Chrissy?
Yeah, no,
Chrissy.
you.
Snip.
Yeah.
Snip, would you like to help out and get a rumor about things?
Yeah, I was just trying to. I know that there's a way to do that. There's like but yeah, I can't remember where you go to find out how to start a rumor.
It might be in Xanthar's guide.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it doesn't really matter.
And if honestly, I'd be okay with like average deception from the 3 of you, since you're getting help, since you're getting help from your brother.
Okay.
Oh, I was just going to cast a disguise on him, but.
Yep, and you can be disguised. You all can be disguised. You're trying to.
All right, then
you're trying to deceit a bunch of people.
Then are we deceiving with advantage then?
Yeah, because you guys are doing your thing. Oh. 25. And just for funsies, do one for your brother.
I'm pulling it up.
Mostly because if he drops your thing, he doesn't drop it too much. So that's okay. So at this point, you're at about day 14, and you, as you read the papers every day now, it's become your thing. You notice that there are definitely talks about how Frederick and Victoria Kupta have been escalating. There's escalating tensions, and there has been raids done by the local guards on Zigget's home. You also see an article about Zigget going to the city guards and going off at them about going into their home without a permit, and that they have no reason to do this, and she'd like to speak to their manager about this.
I would like to continue with this trend. I believe now I would like to spend some time in the darkness of the night creating illusions of creatures lurking near her home that other people see, that give hint towards darker things happening in this home.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be another deception roll. They're trying to deceive a whole lot of people here.
Poor Trigget. We're turning her into a Karen.
Yeah, poor
I can
Trigget.
help. I'm
A demonic Karen.
Yep.
Demonic Karen.
I can help with some deception.
I should give you had a 25. I should have given her some better stats. She could have just lost her shit at you all.
Call the cops.
Cop the cops on you. Gosh. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. People are seeing things, and there's uneasiness. The church that Ziggit attends to every Sunday has some serious questions for Ziggit about some of the creatures that have been spotted around her.
Strange, horrible noises, almost like screeching in the night. Someone stepped in a puddle of blood once that disappeared very quickly.
And so the church has organized and is doing an exorcism on her house. So you read in the newspaper that the whole church has gathered outside of her home, and they are trying to exorcise the demons from her.
Are you guys going to go and mess with them while they try this?
Oh, yes. That would be an excellent way to cement the rumors.
I mean, it's in the newspapers. They're advertising it, right? They want a crowd.
Yeah.
There is a crowd. Like you'd made this a thing. There's a crowd.
I'm going to disguise myself as a simple citizen.
Okay.
A simple, whatever disgusting filth that lives in this city. I'll simply disguise myself as one of them, wander up as a bystander, like, ooh, what's happening here? And as the crowd is watching, suddenly multiple black images of Izek appear, and all of them have bloody eyes. Each one melts into a puddle, using major image once more.
Another deception.
I'm lurking somewhere in the shadows watching this.
Oh yeah, we're all watching.
I'll help you so you can have
Advantage.
Oh goodness. The crowd.
Even if the framing doesn't, we've still ruined her fucking life.
Poor Ziggit.
Well, we are evil.
It's perfect.
You hear just screams from the crowd, and the crowd starts to panic, and everyone runs from the priests are sitting there trying every evocation they can to dispel the evil spirits in the house. Ziggit is in tears on the floor, inconsolable about what is going on in her house.
Oh, she's a good actor.
You are fucking with her. She doesn't have to act. She's in distress.
Well, we want to make it seem like an act.
So she's in tears, and it's just a mess. You do see that people
she has become slightly mentally unstable.
Before this. Before you had started, when the crowd was there were people surrounding Ziggit, like supporting her, patting her on the back. And now that this has occurred, you see that like she's just in the center, and people are like giving her a wide berth, and no one is getting anywhere near Ziggit.
Okay. That night, I want to wait till that night now. Is she alone?
You want to skip all the way to the night before, or that night?
That
I
night.
if I can, before that, when she's all by herself, because I know how creepy I am, right? So I'm gonna go up and say,
Don't worry, dearie. We've talked about it, and everything's gonna be okay. We have it all under control.
my eyes go red.
Do a deception. Oh, poor Ziggit.
This is the correct tactic.
Oh, poor Ziggit. Gosh. You all are evil. God, I can't. Letting you play evil characters was probably a good idea. She gets up and just yells at you, and just, I do not want demons. You get away. She takes out a symbol of the local church and tries to expel the demons out of you. Get away from me, demons, get away. And now the crowd has a bit more of the attention, and they're now kind of focusing on you.
I'm like, I'm just an old lady. What is the matter? Why would you hurt me? No.
Oh, and I come through the crowd, and I'm like, "What are you hassling this poor lady? Oh, she's trying to comfort you. Come, my dear, come. It's fine."
You can do a performance with advantage.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll let you do the performance.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
16.
Some of the crowd starts not a lot, but a few people go over to Snip and Ellery and start like offering to help you out. Like, oh, what can we do for you? We're sorry that you're going through this. And most people are kind of ignoring Ziggit at this point.
And
but
I just
have
say
a little bit of support for you.
Yeah, I'll say it's amazing. It's like she's possessed. She's just, it's not like she used to be to the people.
you see a lot of nods, and a few of them is like, oh, remember how she used to bring us bread?
I know.
I think she might have. Oh, what do you think she did to the bread? So you definitely start to. Some of the rumors are slightly. You hear them questioning.
Do you want me to sneak in and leave some rooms?
No. We have more to do. We have many more days.
Yeah, we're probably like fit to day 15, right? At this point.
You were at 14 before, so you're at this point. You've been kind of doing this for a couple of days. So you're close to 18.
The night of that, the same night. Mm-hmm. Is she home alone?
She's not home at all.
She's not home at all.
Mm-mm.
Oh, she's scared of her house now.
I would like to scry on her.
You see her crying in a bed in what it's a smaller room, nowhere near as lavish as the room that her house is in. Mm-hmm. It has a single bed in it. You were well traveled. It looks like an inn.
Okay, it looks like an inn.
Mm-hmm. A hotel room for all intents and purposes. She's in a hotel room somewhere.
Okay. I guess I will try to figure out where she is. Then, how do you want me to go about doing that?
How do you want to go about doing that?
What
skills do you want to use to figure out where she went?
I don't think I have locate person. Oh, I have locate creature.
Nope, not the same.
Okay.
Yeah, locate creature is the one that you used last time, so you'd have to walk around the city and hope that it pings.
Yes.
Which, I mean, you can do. Not saying you can't, but that's how you'd have to do it.
You know what? I will simply walk into her home and leave a letter for her.
What? You can. What is the letter?
Or in her mailbox. She has a mailbox. There are mailboxes in these cities.
Slide it under the door.
No, you can. Yeah, you can slide it under the door.
I'll leave her a note being like, if you want to know who is tormenting you, then meet me at this disclosed location.
Perfect. I love this so much.
All right. So next day, you're at day 19. Mm-hmm. You're day 19. Past in your newspaper reading thing, you read that the headline for today is Ziggit missing.
Missing.
Nobody. There's interviews with some of her workers. They're all confused as to where she's gone. It also mentions that along with herself, a young dwarven woman has also gone missing by the name of, what is your name?
Crap, we're going to end up throwing her away.
Gabriella and Ziggit have gone missing.
Is it possible to look into the libraries for this Gabriella? Like, I'm just wondering, like, I want to know if it was a human woman that he was.
Dwarven woman. Oh, human woman that he was with. Human girl, really.
Okay, right. But this is a dwarf, or is an elf.
This is a dwarven woman. Gabrielle is a dwarven woman.
Okay.
Who is as far as you can tell, kind of like an assistant to Ziggit.
Okay, so that's the young.
That's a young dwarven woman.
Okay.
Oh, she's got 2 weeks for the wedding. So, what were you thinking of doing to mess with her a bit? Jess's character, Rogue Dog.
Rogue Dog. The simple idea is that we do not even need her to be around if she wishes to be. She can continue to stay in hiding. In fact, if she's in hiding, then that's even better for us. We get to run the show, so to speak. So,
and afterwards, we can maybe track her down to aid in getting up the second half of the payment a bit quicker.
Indeed. But what we should do is continue the act, continue having strange things happen on the road that she grew up, that she lives on, things of that nature.
Okay.
Continue the illusion of demonic activity. And then we'll cease in a couple days, unless she appears again.
All right, so how are we going to tie this into the assassination?
Well,
by what means?
She can always appear at the thing. If he dies in a particularly demonic way,
that's
people
what I'm
are going to
thinking.
ask questions.
I can play a good demon.
You can play a good demon. I can cast a good spell.
So what's a good demonic way to die with lots of evidence?
Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, simply touching someone with this spell, with my own spells, I can attempt to send them to hell. It'll come back shortly thereafter, but their minds are often destroyed in the process, usually dead. Not many mortals can resist the hells.
So
Is that a touch or
any spell that I have can have this effect as long as I touch them with it?
Okay, so getting in physical contact.
Okay.
I wonder if it would be easier if we know that they're staying and they'll have rooms. Do we know if they're staying for the night?
Well, surely we want witnesses.
Well, no.
Who's staying?
Whether Frederick and Victoria are staying overnight.
You'd have to roll an investigation with your, to however you want to. Yeah, investigation probably.
Okay,
It's not going to be like super secret information.
Yeah. What I'm
They're
thinking
probably,
is,
honestly, they're probably boasting about it.
yeah. What I'm thinking is it is possible to try to pull this off in the middle of a big crowd, or we could maybe pretend to be room service and go to his room.
Big crowd. We need people to see it.
We need it to seem demonic to everyone around.
Well, that's what I was asking about the physical evidence left behind, like scorched.
It opens a portal to hell.
Okay.
And he gets sucked in, and then
he's immediately locked out about 6 seconds later.
he takes psychic damage from it.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay. I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah,
you have no idea if he's staying the night or not, or if Mr. and Mrs. Cooper are staying the night.
Okay. And what if it doesn't kill him?
If it doesn't kill him, then that's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
But, if it doesn't kill him, then we can simply do it again.
Well, it would be an amazing show.
How many times a day can you do it?
I don't actually know.
I think it's once a day.
Kill him. We can.
I have pillars of flame that I can summon up. What else do you want?
I have something that looks demonic, just within the theme. Yeah.
Yeah, I have prestidigitation.
I have circle of death. I have finger of death. What kind of death do you want him to have?
I have minor illusion. And
Chrissy.
Sorry?
Yeah, I was asking what you were going to say.
Yeah, I have like minor illusion. I have we have all kinds of spells that between the whole of us.
Yeah, I've got illusion too.
Put on a hell of a show.
Also, I can add some. I have a seeker dart, which I can I don't have to be able. I just need to know where he to know about him. I can live, and all I have to do is whisper it to it, and it goes and it flies and attacks him automatically. I can do that while to add extra damage to any attack.
Okay.
No one's gonna notice a little dart flying.
So you could, Chrisiosity, you could use prestidigitation to have a booming demonic voice says, "Do not fuck with Trigot Zygot." That might be a
little long.
Well, you discuss your plan. I'm gonna take a bio break, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
A bio break.
All right, so should we?
I think we should find out where Trigot is. We want
Eyes on her?
we want eyes on her. If she's off 100 miles away, we want to know about it. We want to know who's looking at her and what she's doing. So
Also,
Yeah.
she's staying at an inn somewhere. She leaves it. We can go into that room and leave signs of demonic spells.
yeah,
Saying that she's in the city. Well, then again, we could probably just get to her.
Yeah, you'll have to scry for her then? Is that the best?
I can continue scrying for her, but if she doesn't leave her room, then all I know is that she's in a room.
Well, can you look at the windows in the room?
No, it has to be a person.
Yeah, you only see her.
Okay.
And the illusion is usually the stronger it is, the stronger I succeed by, and the more I see, but usually it's only her and her immediate surroundings.
All right. So if she's looking out a window, maybe you could get...
I could see that the grass outside was green
Okay.
or some vague shape.
you have a name, and I can give you I can show you the intern, her intern. Even if you never saw it, we could scry on the intern.
We could always, yes, give me her name.
Good
and-
idea. Gabrielle.
Wait a minute. Could we go to her house? Does the intern live there? Does her
No, she
help
lived
us?
alone.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Okay, I'm back to be. What have we figured out?
If I had a possession of hers, it'd be very easy.
Well, she worked for her, right? So presumably she's got a desk somewhere. If we broke into the office, we would find her desk, and her
Yes,
things would be there.
exactly.
Okay.
If someone wished to sneak in somewhere and do that, I'd be
I
very
can do that.
grateful. Wonderful.
Do a stealth? Breaking into a thing? There are you do find, but there are
with the
the thing. Yeah, you do find, but you notice while you're there are a whole lot of guards around this house now.
Well, I would obviously
Right.
do it at a point in time where I'd be able to go invisible.
Yeah. You just so that you know, while you were there was crap ton of guards around this house.
I'm just invisible, crawling along the ceiling inside.
Mhm.
Oh,
and
can I recommend to Pash to also maybe put something in a secret area in her desk, if it's obvious where Trigot's desk is? Again, just kind of leave evidence of her magic in different parts
What do
of
you
her
want me
life.
to? What do you want me to leave?
Some kind of demonic symbol, or what god did we think we're tying her to, or a demon?
I draw a fiend symbol of some sorts, and I'm like, just draw this somewhere.
Okay.
Not in an obvious place,
something
like
demonic.
Yeah.
like in
Just-
the back
just-
of her drawer of her main desk or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jess.
Like it's a fiend's name, but it's not a fiend's name because you can summon a fiend if you write the name down. It's like slightly misspelled.
Graffiti.
Typo.
It's Santa instead of Satan.
Yeah.
You have no. You were looking for something.
We're looking for a possession of that dwarf girl that was.
The dwarf girl. You find. She keeps a brush in her desk to keep herself
Wonderful.
looking nice. And then
I grab that.
she's got Zigget's desk or whoever's desk you're going to. If you want to write something in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Certainly can.
draw like something like underneath the.
Mhm.
Where
Yeah, that sounds good.
Wonderful.
Good to me. So yeah, you got a thing. Day 20.
That very night when he returns, I'd like to scry on the. Well, not that night. The next morning, I would like to scry on the dwarf.
The next
And
morning on the
Yes, and I have a possession of theirs,
Mhm.
and it has a lock of hair. Just so happens. So that
Oh,
that's a minus. That's a minus 12 to their roll.
Whoa.
Just res-
minus 12 to their roll. Net 20. Let's see. What do we got? Nope, we got a 5. So we got a negative 7.
Thanks for the hair.
Yep.
hair's really, really powerful.
So you're gonna scry on the dwarf, right?
Mm-hmm. Since it doesn't seem as
you
it's
said-
leaving her house much, we'll draw us file on the dwarf.
Dwarf. And you okay? So you're just scrying. You said early in the morning or in the morning?
In the morning sometime.
The morning sometime. You see her. going down some sort of inn, going down to the restaurant part of it, picking up some food and taking it upstairs into a room. You follow her into the room with your vision, and you see that she's bringing food to Ziggit.
Does it look like it's in here in the city?
Huh?
Does it look like
look like it's in the city?
I mean, I would assume we would have like knowledge enough of the city to know what the inns, restaurants look
not
like.
all the inns in the city. It looks like it does not. Ziggit is a very rich woman.
Mm-hmm.
She obviously,
Yeah.
she owns a gemstone. This is not like. It's like it's like a Holiday Inn for her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like a dive, but it ain't. She can afford much better.
Mm.
If she were, especially in the city, like she could. If the inns and hotels that you have in the city, like they get up there to like marble floors and the closest thing you have to running water in D&D.
Right.
So it ain't that, but it ain't.
A little wizard halfling that casts create water.
We've got, but there's got to be a limited number of inns in the city, especially mid-range inns. If we are looking for a mid-range inn, did he see anything? Did he see any of the waiters and waitresses? Any signs? Any?
You can do. Rodog can do a perception to see what you see. No, it's very generic. Very generic.
I guess we better go and check out these inns and find out if it's one that's in the city.
Oh yeah.
Did he notice if it was at least something as like, was all the people, were they humans, were they elves, were they dwarves, was it a mix? Is there any?
No, the only person you saw was I'd say middle-aged woman, human woman, that gave her the tray, gave Gabriella the tray of food.
Mm.
That's the only person she interacted with. She went
with
over.
our interns, there are 8 of us. We should be able to do the old-fashioned gumshoeing and find this.
Checking out.
Should we start the human section?
You're at day 20. You want to start so you're at day 20. It's a big city. And even with 8 of you at a city this large, if you were to just walk around and just tried locking on doors, trying to figure that out, it would take you, I'd say, at least a week.
I mean,
I want to narrow it down to like a section. We can talk about how long that would take you.
Well, what if we kept up with our work and we scry her at different points in the day over the next week and see if we can catch her outside of delivering breakfast, or does she stay in her room all the time, or is she going out to a certain shop? If we can get something more specific than a hotel room on her, maybe then we can narrow them down, but we can continue our mischief in the meantime.
Yeah, I can just keep looking in on her every hour, really, if I wanted to.
Yeah, if you want
to. And she's going to fail all her rolls, really, so...
Yeah, with the hair.
So just tell me what time of day, and I will describe to you what she's up to at that time of day.
I will. That same day, I will do midday. I'll do dinner time, and I'll do at night. I'll just keep
let's start
looking
with
in
midday.
on her.
At midday, come on, net 20. 13, and 1. She got a 1. Look at that. Out of 1, yeah, she doesn't use. Use who are you scrying on? Ziggit or Gabrielle?
The dwarf.
Gabrielle.
Mm-hmm.
Gabrielle, you see Gabrielle is riding a horse.
Is she? And where's she riding a horse?
You can do a perception, and I can kind of give you more depending on how perceptive you are. It's a road. It's definitely that. It's made out of dirt.
Is there any way for you to share the vision?
No.
Yeah. It's a dirt road, and she is riding her horse. So that's your first one.
Okay, then around dinner time.
Around dinner time, at a 5. She is at dinner time. You see her eating dinner in a room, and you see Sigget on in the same room on a bed.
Okay, they're traveling.
You can hear a little bit of sobbing.
They're leaving the city. That's what I've gathered. Also, the dwarf is now rolling at a -17.
Oh yeah, she's gonna fail
because I've seen her face and now I know what she looks like. I am intricately unaware of this character, so now I can roll full, and I have a possession. I have a personal possession, and I have a lock of hair.
Question.
Okay, well, yeah. No, you know.
Actually,
yeah.
At some point during all these days, I would.
It's the same day. It's the same day.
You're at the end of day 20.
No. And like I just realized that I should probably at some point during the 30 days ask my assistant, my intern, to like get hold of some of the stronger poisons.
Okay.
For the mission itself.
Well, don't we want to leave a paper trail of that? Like, don't we want to leave her name or find receipts that we can put into her house or something?
Well, no, it's not for like it's for me.
Oh, okay. You're just doing it.
Like,
Okay.
Like,
you can your assistant can roll medicine. She is still an intern, just to get you one of them.
Okay, that's still free attack. Up to 3 attacks that will do 42 points of damage on average.
Yep. So you get.
Which is a lot.
It is a lot.
Brilliant. They also cost 2,000 gold each.
Yep.
I would like to start a rumor. I'm asking my friends who are good at such things that our gnomish friend has left town after making a darker deal with something to fight her enemies for her.
John and I can do that. I wanted to go in the city anyway. I need to find a pretty dress for the wedding. I'll be so beautiful.
You'll be lovely.
Yeah, you probably do need to do some shopping, honestly, because you all gotta think about how you're getting in too. Remember that. Like, you have an in, but how are you getting your crap in? Because I'm assuming you all aren't just gonna like. You can show up in armor and shit, but people are gonna be a little bit weirded out by that.
Don't wear armor.
I don't wear
Just letting you know, this is like a super posh wedding you're going to.
My studded leather is really well fitted. It's hot.
Me and Urzag don't wear armor.
I don't wear armor either.
Yeah,
I'm literally just gonna sneak in.
Yeah, one of you is sneaking in, so you're fine. The 3 of you who aren't sneaking in, one of you has a smart idea of getting it dressed.
Yeah. It's part of our act. We play adventures.
Yes, I'm transforming myself. Let's see. I would wear the most wonderful looking suit you've ever seen.
All right.
Actually, I'm probably gonna just to make it easier to sneak in. I'm probably gonna go the day before, like the night beforehand, because then I have the advantage of the fact that it's dark, and then find some place to hide.
Okay.
Gotta make it
Okay. Cool.
I can just spend the night there.
All right. So we're at day 20.
You're at day 20. You're at day 21. You wanted to go do some rumor milling.
Mm-hmm.
And shopping.
So roll a deception for that. See how much rumor milling we got going on here.
Okay. If John and I go together, can this be
Advantage?
You can do it with advantage because you got 2 of you working on it. 14. You didn't make anything any worse. Like, people aren't like all of a sudden like rooting for Sigget, but the rumor isn't spreading as well as you had hoped.
Oh, I meant to do deception, not persuasion.
Is it the same score? The same?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter.
Do it again.
Actually, your persuasion is lower than your deception.
Oh, okay.
You have a +5 to your
Let
deception.
John handle it because John is better than me anyway. He's a deception. He's a deceitful bastard.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. At this point, Posh, you are starting to read like very serious concerns about demonic entities in the city.
And their connection to the woman who has been missing.
Yes.
There's a lot of eyewitnesses who have said that they have seen crazy ass shit going down around Zigget's home.
I think every once in a while I'll just go by and like teleport briefly there and then teleport away in the dark. So you just see like a brief glimpse of something.
So you are at day 22. You got 8 days. What are you going to do for your last? You're getting close to wedding time here.
Well, Snip is going to buy a very, very pretty dress and flowers for her hair. She doesn't ever take the red cap off, though. Never does that. And she's going to buy a nice present for the happy newlyweds. And it'll be... it's going to be the ugliest thing you've ever seen. It's going to be like a figurine that looks like handmade by children who have never seen a wedding before. Like, she's just going to find something that's hideous and just love it and say, oh, this is going to be theirs. And she puts a big bow on it. And she's going to work on her alchemy unless anybody else can think of a good reason and maybe come up with some potions and get her stuff.
I can help you. I'm proficient in alchemy, so I can help you with that.
All right.
If you want to.
So that's fine. You don't have to roll anything for that. You get yourself exactly what you're looking for. And you're just going to spend the next 8 days doing that?
Yeah, I'll get some potions and whatnots together.
I'll like help.
All right, and
doing something else.
at the let me look something up real quick. Sorry about this. I should have looked this up earlier.
At some point, I would imagine I would have had Pash go get that letter I left. By the way,
You're gonna go get Pash to do that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
With your sneaking skills, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to show up with my rod of tentacles and to Ellery and say, put this in your guitar bag.
Okay, I'll tuck it in with my lute.
I'll see you at the wedding. Oh my God, prettier than the bride.
At some point in the evening, I would like to like sneak up to the wall around the keep and like crawl onto it like invisible, like get up on it and just.
Are you doing this during the day, during the night?
During night, so I can be invisible. And just sit up there, just to like, just have a look and see where any light, like where there's light sources, get up like a feel for like possibly where I could get, how it would be, how easy to get in. Yeah, scout. Thank you.
Okay. There are. Let's see. This right here is the main entrance. It's where most of the traffic comes in and out. As you probably wouldn't notice this during the night because there's not a lot of traffic, but it has the most amount of guards.
I mean, it's an obvious. It's also going to be an obvious main door.
Yeah, it is an obvious main door. There are definitely guards doing rounds pretty much 24 hours around here.
Doesn't matter. They can't see me.
Yeah, they can't see you anyway. But yeah, there's guards. Just there's guards. There's the minimum of 4 to 5 guards stationed in each of the towers at all times. There is a shift every 4 hours. There's a shift change. And people, you see 4 to 5 new guards come in and out of those towers and go into the barracks, which are all the way back here. So at night, you see about 2 shifts of guards go, and they'll make it to the back. Yeah. Anything else you want to know?
Are there any like obvious like paths of darkness I would be able to take?
You'd probably have to. So the most lit areas are going to be the front. the front of the temple, and then the path up to the Grand Hall is pretty much always lit. The inside of the temple is pretty much always
What about
wellish lit, not like daylight lit, but they
what
have
about the roof?
the roofs. The
I
Grand
don't
Hall
mind staying
has.
outside.
Huh?
I don't mind staying like the night on the roof, invisible.
Yeah. I mean, there's no, they're not lighting the roofs.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no light on any of the roofs.
But there would be like a dark route where I would be able to get like on the roof.
Yes, there are some walls connecting areas, so there is a route that you could get from pretty much anywhere here by climbing on roofs.
Cool.
That at the middle of the night, you probably wouldn't have any light on you. Obviously, in the day, you would because day.
Yeah, it's day.
Can I ask us to develop the run through? Of course, you make a plan and then the plan falls apart, but we have to make a plan anyway.
We
But no. I mean, in terms of like, so at what point? Because Road Dog has to be able to touch him, so we need a whole plausible thing of like how.
I don't have to actually touch him. I have to touch him with a spell, and I have plenty of spells that are very subtle.
Okay, so how?
You
Let's
have to cast a spell on
No,
him.
okay,
and you
I
can
understand.
add that as a-
Okay,
Yeah.
but let's talk about the actual TikTok of like, are we going to wait until our performance to do it, which is at 9:00 before the ceremony? Are we going to do it well before then? When in the night are we going to do it, and how is it going to be set up?
We should do it when people are most distracted and looking away from anyone, especially
during
us.
Okay,
the
well, if I
performance
do it, but
best.
if I do a solo, like we come up there and we do our first band thing together, and then I do a solo, I can do an enthralling performance, and I can charm certain people in the audience, so they have to pay attention. And so that could be, for instance, when you can go and find a shadow and make your move, and then we'll put on the show, and then I'll scream from the stage, "Oh my God, it's a demon!"
That would work. That works for me.
And I'm gonna I'm gonna get in and stay in some corner and be ready to throw the dart, the seeker dart.
And Chrissy's character, how can you help with this? Or
I will be on the stage, but while I'm on the stage doing my dance, doing my great thing, I will be casting prestidigitation. I'll be casting illusion.
Yes.
You know, just like little things. Smell of sulfur in the air.
Ah, nice.
Whispers in the back. You know.
Can you light areas up? Can you or some kind of, I guess, flames? Can we make? You still have flame stuff too? You said.
Do you have you have thaumaturgy?
I don't have thaumaturgy. I have minor illusion and I have prestidigitation. Let me look at what else I have.
I also have minor illusion. So if you need me to do something from the stage while everyone's gone, then and their backs are turned, I can help out a little bit.
Mage hand, I could probably knock something over. Oh, I have message. I forgot I got that one. Oh, I also have a familiar. And I could make my familiar be something like a bat or a poisonous snake or a raven or something like scary.
Maybe not a raven. We don't want flying things that would be connected to us.
Yeah, I've got major image, so I can also help out, create the image of an object. Yeah, so
Oh, and I have my conjuration thing. I can conjure basically anything I have seen. Let me see. Hang on. Let me read this through. Where are you? I can use an action to conjure up an inanimate object in my hand or in an unoccupied space within 10 feet of me. The object is visibly magical, radiating dim light out to 5 feet, and can be no larger than 3 feet on a side and weigh 10 pounds or less. Moreover, the object's form must be that of a non-magical object you have seen. After an hour, you can use this feature again, or if it takes any damage the object disappears. So, I mean, I could get something out there that looks
Scary.
scary, like a skull or something.
Or just even like noxious looking plumes of smoke if you've got sulfur in the air already.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is, if I'm understanding this, we're going to party, we're going to enjoy ourselves, have it play a few songs, but then when it comes to be time, we're going to do this, like the second song of the set? So we do one with the drums, the lute, myself, and is it Snip? Is that right? Sorry, Christiosity's character, yes. With our amphibian friend in the corner, in the darkness, singing along. And then after that, I'll do a solo, and I'll charm the audience. Do you want me to try to charm the guards that might be around?
I would rather you could charm anyone that looks like a spellcaster, someone who would be able to immediately recognize what we were doing.
Oh, okay, yes. Then I will check on the stats for that. But yes, because I know the other thing is that if people make their saving throws, they don't realize they've been charmed.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't draw any negative attention, which is nice. So, yeah, okay, yep, I can target high-level looking spellcasters. That sounds great.
Anyone who looks like a wizard.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially the wizard.
For those of you doing potions, the two of you who are sitting around brewing stuff, just so that if you want to get potions, it's going to take around half a day to do a common potion. It's going to take a full day to do an uncommon. It's going to take 4 days to do a rare, and it's going to take you 8 days to do a very rare potion.
Okay, what do we actually want to make?
You all decide that. But that's
why I'm
that's
asking.
your time scale for brewing potions for the remainder. You have 8 days left. So you all can figure out what combination of potions, if you want to make any. You want to make
potions of some description. I don't know.
I would think we could get health potions from.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So maybe we should.
The basic. If you want just basic health potions, you can have those. It'd probably be around that limit. So if you wanted to fill up, it'd be 16 just basic health potions. It's a lot. I don't know how you'd carry them, but you could. If you wanted to do the higher ones, that's how long it's going to take you guys to get there, to be able to get them.
Would the guilds have like greater or superior health potions?
Yeah, they'll brew them for you, but it's going to take you that much time. So if you want to do a greater one, it's going to take whatever. A greater one is going to take you. You can brew one a day for greater, so you can have a total of 8. Each, really, working together, definitely.
All right, I feel like the plan is coming together.
Yeah.
So I'll let you chomp for that, and then So, are we okay to fast forward to the day of?
One question.
Just a couple minutes.
Okay.
Also, I think we should maybe scry. See if we can. I don't think it's worth trying to scry a couple more times to see if it looks like she's get a bead on her.
Oh, absolutely. Why not?
Question: do we know if people are able to be charged in absentia?
What do you mean?
Can she be convicted if she's not there?
Yeah.
Do you know the local law? I would say that the law system here is going to be you get judged by your peers, and there's, considering how much you've affected her peers, I'm not sure how much support she'll necessarily have. If they call on experts of, say, the Wizarding College,
the question was, does she have to be physically present at her trial?
Yes.
For it to be considered fair.
At her trial?
Right.
Yes, she does. So they'll have to find her.
Okay, so she cannot be charged in absentia. Okay.
Yes, and more than likely, depending on how things go, there's there's honestly a good chance that the city guards will hire you all to find her. Like, not gonna lie, you are also about like they might
That would
even be like,
fucking hilarious.
yeah. So they might actually be like, yeah, she's missing. We need to find her. Hey,
And she
Wing, go find her.
believes, and she believes we're like, and they believe she's involved in some pretty dangerous stuff. So,
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
So there's a good chance you might.
So
you
we
all
might actually be able to get extra money.
Get
That
paid
would
twice
be-
for the same job.
Yeah, you might. With the amount of damage you've done to her reputation and how, depending on how crazy you make this.
We're literally making our own jobs.
Yep.
Yeah, so potions being made, anything else that people need to prep? Or any more rumors?
I would like to.
Road Dog's
get-
devious. So.
Yeah.
I would like-
Road Dog, I'm assuming you scry once or twice a day.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can do it as much. And when I rest, a short rest will let me have my spells again. So I can just keep looking in on her.
You just keep looking in on her.
Yeah.
At around day 24, you notice that she's now in a nicer hotel, a nicer inn. Yeah, she's upgraded by around day 24, and then after that, you notice that she doesn't leave that area. You notice that when she travels around, she's traveling on no longer dirt roads, but brick or stone roads. And that she seems to continue to return back to the same inn hotel every night, and it's a much nicer than a Holiday Inn, where it's actually genuinely a nice hotel now.
Okay, so she stuck to mid-range hotels on the road, but now that she's someplace where she wants to stay for a while, she's upgrading. That's what I would
And
do.
considering travel around here, there's a good chance that there wasn't high-end hotels on the roads. Right, you're
so
like you're whatever you're taking a trip across the country. You stay at the Motel 6s that you bump into, kind of thing.
Can we
Okay,
start
so
some more dark rumors?
Yeah, you can continue to do that.
Okay.
It's not going to hurt you at this point. It's going to take a lot to hurt you on this trail of getting her. So you're just building more against her, really.
Okay.
Where's Sigit?
I'm going to make
She's gonna get convicted for murder anyways. Like,
Chrissy, what were you saying?
potion of heroism for myself. If there are rare potions other people would want, I'm going to tell the people at the what's the faces that
the solid wing.
that we're going to need some greater healing potions between us, or even superior healing, maybe.
I think we have to brew them
Oh,
ourselves.
also, can we
Yeah,
each...
you have to brew them yourself. They have all the things for you to brew the things that you need, but you're going to have to spend the 8 days doing this. So you can send John out to do like more rumor milling, but you too, if you want to make potions, need to spend your time, your 8 days.
And,
Well, not your 8, as many days as you want.
And
doing
Amatia help.
Amatia can help you out.
John can help too. He'll help. So what would he? Yeah. Can your person help with the rumor milling, Christy or Ellery?
He's more... Yeah, I guess, he can go to bars and stuff. Sure. I mean, he can just go talk shit, but he's got a criminal element, but the good citizens, I don't think he'll be so much influencing.
And so I'll let you know. So to the two who want to help have John and whatnot, a lot of the delays in brewing potions is a lot like baking. You had to sit there and wait for the oven to warm up and things to stew. It's not having more manpower isn't going to increase the time. You have to.
So it's
Okay,
like being,
in the last...
it's like being
Oh, sorry.
back in the lab.
All right, so she will Ellery in the last week she'll go to some taverns and sing some songs about Trigot and her demon pact, and a little catchy tune, get everybody involved, and she'll spread that song around in the taverns, to the point where she hears it coming out of other taverns as she walks by.
Okay.
So
We just
roll a
created
performance for that and see how
okay.
see
We just
how
created,
famous you've gotten.
Not so well. I guess it was.
Not so much. You get booed out of a couple of them. Like, no, we're not into this. We want better songs.
Also, I think it's worth everyone picking up a healing kit just to have on you.
I literally, like, I won't be able to interact with, and you won't be able to interact with me.
No, but just also for the whole campaign.
Yeah. So the wedding is, you guys are way milking this wedding.
No,
this is supposed to be like an hour.
No. What I'm saying is, you won't be able to do like health checks on me and touch me, because if you do, you get poisoned.
Right. I'm just saying.
You can't touch my skin.
Okay.
You might want them to help other people.
Yeah. Well, would I be able to?
And anyone can use them, and they have
I think it'd be okay for you to
just don't get benefits.
It for anyone. And it'd be okay for other characters to help each other. It's not a bad idea, is what I'm saying. It's not a bad idea.
No.
They're very, and those are more or less free for you all at the guild. Like,
okay. I wasn't saying it was a bad idea. I was just like giving a warning that which obviously all the other characters would know. Like, don't touch my skin.
Don't touch them. Don't touch Pass.
Do not touch the pork.
You can touch his clothes, but don't actually touch the clothes. Like, so I will allow things like whatever healing touch or whatever. I don't know what they're called. Any touch spells on him are going to be fine, because I'm going to assume you touch his clothes or something, not his skin.
Yeah.
But if you touch past for like something more, like you have to do surgery to get him stable or whatever, that is going to cause you to poison.
All right.
Yeah. But touch spells and things are still going to be okay with past.
Okay.
I don't mind a little bit of poison. I used to poison myself on the regular.
My poison. Trust me.
All right. So we all prepared to do?
All right. What are they called? Health kit? Healing kit?
Healing kits. Yeah.
Do people? I can give you guys greater healing potions. I guess.
So you have a total of it. Oh, you get the potion of heroism, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4 days. So you have 4 days left, really.
And I'm also brewing.
Okay. So for Snip, you have 4 days left. You can do 4 greater healing or 8 healing.
I'll do 4 greater healing, so we can each have 1 greater healing, and
I'll since I also spend like some time doing other stuff, I'll do 6. Like, it's greater would be 1 day per greater.
Greater is 1 day, so you have a maximum of 8.
I'll do 6 because I did spend some time looking around, so it's only fair.
Yeah, Chrissy, you're doing 4. You said.
Yeah, so everybody gets 1 from me, and
so you have 10 in total. Figure out how you'll split them up.
Who's the squishiest?
Me.
Hey, you should definitely get more than one. I think let's have every.
Well, I also have some healing spells, so I need fewer. So people who can't self-heal should probably get more.
Okay. Well. Okay, so we have 10, so we can get 2 each, and then we have 2, so we should probably give 1 to Skip, since she's the glass cannon.
Yep.
Then who gets the last one?
But give it to her. Give her the extra.
Give her both.
Okay, so you get 4, and everyone else gets 2.
Okay.
Greater healing?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the signal that we're gonna put this get this going? It should be a little later, because 2 of us rely on shadows.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take you to. This is now morning of. I was gonna
sneak in the day before.
Okay, so you did tell me that. So you took off the night before. You are at the keep.
Yes.
Somewhere in the keep.
I'm hiding in a dark place.
In a dark corner somewhere. So you're there. The rest of you, morning of, I will remind you, for those of you who use shadows, this is the summer solstice. It is the longest day of the year.
Yep. How far north are we?
You are however far north Germany is, because that's what I based it off of.
Okay.
So that far north.
Yeah. Okay.
Sunset is at 9:30. Sunrise is at 4:45.
Okay. So we're far enough north that the sun never really sets during the solstice.
It's going to be a break. It's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
I didn't do that intentionally, but now that once you all told me you were shadows, like, oh, sorry. You get very little of those.
We're not on until 9:30 in the evening, but then we come back on after the ceremony at 10. We were at 9 to 10. 9:30.
The ceremony is at 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
So you start at 9.
Okay.
You start at 9, play up until the ceremony. Ceremony happens, and then you play after the ceremony. That's what your contract says. You also got permission to be there early because you charmed Eric the Bull, and Eric the Bull was like, yeah, no, show up whenever. So you 3 have pretty much permission to show up whenever.
So do we want to do it at 10:30?
Yeah, we should do this after, when it gets late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so when are you arriving at the...
Okay, so I looked it up. The sun basically sets at when the contract is supposed to be 9:30. Mm-hmm. That's when the sun is just below the horizon.
Yep.
So
we have to do this before?
Nope. So again, the contract is to do it on the summer solstice. There's some legal gray area on that, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to depend on the interpretation of Victoria. The point is you can't do it in like 2 days from now.
Yeah.
It's got to happen today.
Yeah. Okay.
You might feel, just because you have the packed strings, you might feel them tightening a little bit, but they're not going to tighten to the point where they're going to impair any of you're not going to get any debuffs or anything.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
wedding.
I want to
might also be a good idea to let the actual ceremony happen so they are actually married. So we don't get calls.
Works for me.
Oh well.
Okay, yeah, I think we're all ready then. I would say I want to show up about 3:00 in the afternoon. Have a nice relaxing afternoon.
Yeah, you're pretty much there. There are. I don't have a setup for 3:00 in the afternoon. Well, no. Do I have?
We're just partying outside, right?
You're just partying outside. There is food for you to have. There is wine, the most delicious wine you'd ever had. Some vintages that you didn't even know existed. There's beer, and all of it is for free. Nobody is questioning you what you grab or have. Some of the guards look slightly intoxicated. There are what are very clearly concubines just roaming around. More than willing to chat it up with any nobleman or anyone who comes up to them.
How old do they look?
Too old for Frederick.
Okay.
There are performances throughout the day, so you are performers, but it's not just music. You see, I forget what they're called, but the people who hang from the ropes in the ceiling.
Acrobats.
Ropes. Yeah, you see acrobats. There's jugglers. There's minstrels. People are telling jokes. It's just a big old party going on, and it doesn't seem to stop.
Is there any possibility of me sneaking in and just not talking with the party, just confirming, hey, we're here, just so they know? How do you
plan on doing that? Depends on how you want to do it. Do you want to just walk up to them? That might be more difficult, but it's up to you.
So, looking around, I have a 120-foot perfect vision, even in supernatural darkness. Can I see the frog?
Can you see the frog? Probably.
Yeah, you would be able to.
All right, I'll point it. I'll just kind of look in your direction, and I'll go, "We're here."
So I'll say that you could see. I'll say that you could see the frog, whether unless you didn't talk about where you were going to be.
Oh, okay.
So you can run. You can do a perception and see if you can spot the frog.
I would be at some point sneak out, to the front, like looking, like being on the roof, like just or
Yeah,
something.
but since you guys didn't talk about where to look for your frog friend, you a perception. Maybe you spot the frog. Maybe you don't spot the frog.
Maybe I spot the frog. Maybe
I spot the frog.
You spot the frog.
Damn.
Well, you're hiding? Ooh, but you don't. Do you have anything special against? You
Well, I
spot the
wouldn't
frog. That's
be
a natural 20. You
invisible.
spot the frog.
I wouldn't be invisible at this point.
Yeah, you can't. You spot the frog.
There's
He's
no
up there.
like. There's no. It's middle
So
of the
wherever
day.
you want to be past, you can be there, and they will spot you.
And
Okay.
I say,
Hey, we're here.
I'm sending message, which is just goes straight to him. Nobody else can hear me. And
I give a small nod and just like disappear back into where I was hiding. I was just out for a moment just to like confirm, and then back into my high hole.
The day goes on.
How are the windows at the top of the? Like I'm assuming these things are windows.
They are windows. They are.
Like
You're a frog. They're definitely big enough for you.
Okay.
I'm sure almost
It's
anyone
more
else
like opening them. What is that like? Could I do that from the outside? I don't have thieves' tools.
It's summer, so they're open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, somebody opened them up because it's summer and you need as much fresh air as you need.
Are they in the ceiling of the actual like ceremony hall? The great
Yeah, you're
hall?
right about the ceremony hall. Yep.
No, but like, is there a floor above that these windows lead into?
Nope.
Okay, so
Like,
they're in the ceiling of that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
if you look down, you can see right into the ceremony hall.
It's perfect.
Nice.
Is there any now that we're here, where would like is there any indication of where the band would be playing?
Sure.
Like a stage? Okay, they
So
would
you're
be in
here.
here.
The stage is going to be right there.
Okay, good. There's more like if it was outside that kind of fucks with our plan.
Oh, it's inside, and there's you see a piano and some. They have brought in a piano, like a grand piano, in the room, and then of course bands bring in their own equipment or their own instruments and set up. Some of the performers have been performing in the middle. So the acrobats perform like right in the middle of the hall. This is more or less where you're at. Like I said, there's at this point at the middle at 3:00 there are tables. There's pretty much a table in between each set of columns. Tables have food and drinks. People are there. There's you see like servers sitting there serving food, serving drink. There are shift changes, so people are kind of coming in and out. You do notice that there are guards at every window, and then there are two guards, one at each side of the door. If you're observing them, they are pretty much confiscating weapons from people who walk in through the front door, and they are putting them on tables on the side. So on the side, you see a variety of most of them, almost all of them, far too ornate of swords to be practical. They're definitely not weapons. They're just what lords and nobles carry on to look fancy. Yeah, they're not. They're pretty much useless as far as combat is concerned. But there are two tables lined with the confiscated weapons. Weapons are not allowed except for the guards in this building. Anything else before we move into closer to the end time for wedding?
Not for me.
No.
All right. So you spend your day partying around. You have some drinks, you have some wine, you eat some food, and you are now at the wedding. You see somebody. This is, I'm assuming, before you actually get started. There are people. There's another band playing, so we'll make this like 8:00. There's another band playing. Again, you have their tables full of food. It is getting packed in here. Everyone knows the wedding is happening relatively soon. There is a main table at the back where you see people who look like they are way fancierly dressed than everyone else in the room. Yeah, and otherwise, there are way more people in here than I had room for tokens, so it is packed.
That's fine.
Yeah, it is absolutely packed in here with people.
Question.
Yeah.
How high is the ceiling?
How high is the ceiling?
It's more like, because I presume I would have to take that into account, like making
it's pretty low. Yeah,
Okay.
It's not that high. It's about 30 feet.
How how dark is it up where in the corner?
It's not dark at all.
Okay, so I'm relying.
You have sunlight beaming in. You have the inside. Nothing's lit up yet, but there's just sunlight everywhere. The windows. Not that there's windows, but like the top of it is kind of like a greenhouse, where it's made to have like sunlight stream into it. Okay,
I'll remain outside then, like sitting, like looking through the window every once in a while, stealthing.
Yeah.
And I will use 2 key points. How long does Pass Without a Trace? That lasts an hour, right?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes?
No, an hour.
Oh, an hour? Okay.
It's an hour.
Okay, when we get like, I don't know, 45 minutes till the plan would be sprung-ish, I'm going to cast it on myself.
Okay. Yeah. So, I got to place you all in here. Where are you? How are you all getting in here?
Where are we?
We're with the band.
I don't know. I don't know. You tell me.
there.
Where would the band be? Yeah.
Like, do you want us to walk in, or?
Nope. I'm just wondering where you station yourself.
We're giants.
You are giants. Not Pash. Pash is not here. Bye.
Bye.
And you are all with the band. And this gentleman here, after you come and show up and relieve him of his duties, and he goes off to get himself a drink.
Also, the gnome is still here.
Oh, the gnome is still here. No, she's not. That's a lie. I didn't expect you to drive her off. So she was supposed to be here, but you all drove her.
All right. So this is before the ceremony takes place?
Yep, you're about. So since you're here at the performance, you are at about 9 p.m. So you got about half an hour before the performance starts.
Okay, so I will.
Not the performance start before the wedding is scheduled to start.
So I guess we're doing a performance first.
Yep.
Are you guys gonna perform?
Yep.
I guess so.
That's what we're going to do.
Okay, performance checks.
All right.
Oh, look at you all!
The charming wasn't maybe not necessary for Eric the Bull.
I'm shocked I did anything. So
yeah, you all are doing fantastic. You have a small little crowd gathering around you because they are just enthralled by the performance being provided by you.
Question: Can I take a look and see, are there anyone in here who seems like they would probably be pretty good at magic? Like just looking around.
Perception?
I mean, you can do a perception. It's gonna be super high because you're pretty much trying.
I have advantage.
Yeah, you can.
I'd also like to mention that I have true sight always.
Yep. So you can see illusions. You can see through illusions and invisible people. Right.
Yep. Just and like if somebody's scrying on somebody, I can see the scry. I can do basically anything that's unnatural. I see it immediately.
Anything that's unnatural.
And I can see anything that's invisible or ethereal.
Okay.
And I have advantage on any vision based.
So you got it. Okay. So yeah, you still perception. No. You see, like, everyone's dressed really extravagantly.
Okay.
You can't, like, nobody's wearing, like, a traditional wizard's robe and wizard's hat. Everyone's got some weird-ass outfits. Not weird, but just, like...
they're not wearing
They're dressed for a wedding. They're not dressed for work.
Yeah. Which helps out, because that means that their robes are probably not magic. Like the wedding clothes is probably not magic.
Yeah.
So then gonna
Probably,
be
yeah. No. Yeah, people are dressed to the nines, but definitely not for
combat
the only people who appear to be dressed for combat are the guards.
naturally.
Okay.
No one else appears to be. Anything else you want to do while you perform, or
I'm doing all the prestidigitation stuff. Just a couple little things so far.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait till after.
Oh,
after the wedding?
dropped out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said after the wedding.
Okay.
I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm getting to fight time, so just.
Once she's done with our first performance or whatever, I'm going to step off the stage as we had planned. I'll come back and play my one drum solo later again. But I'd like to take a step around the building. I'd like to go down to the entrance, that is.
Okay.
And I want to see, what is that area out here that you look like? Just like out the door.
Out the door? Out the
Right out the
door
door.
is this.
What part?
So you are right there.
Okay, so are there a bunch of guards or whatnot around that area as well?
I mean, there are guards, but they're, especially the ones here, are fairly drunk.
How high is it up to the ledge that looks over the windows inside?
The ledge. Oh, up here where
Yeah,
so the ceiling is 30 feet. That would be another like 10 feet.
10 feet up?
So you'd be 40 feet from the ground to the top. It's 40. It's from the ground to this area here where the blue and green are. That's 30, and then another 10 feet.
Bit confused. So from me on the ground here, how far am I from the windows
From these windows,
that are up on top? Yeah, they're looking inside.
40 feet.
40 feet. Okay.
40 feet from the ground. Yes.
Okay. Hold on just a second. I'm pulling up a bunch of sheets here.
No, you're fine. Band's performing. People are laughing. People inside. Let's see. People inside the hall. If you guys want to do perception, I can give you more details about.
Yeah,
things.
because I'm also looking for people to target with my charm when I do my performance, so definitely would want to roll perception. And maybe.
All right. So what I wanted to do is I want to step outside, and I want to look at a window that I can see that seems to be pretty obscure in the darkness or somewhere. It's not lit up there, I wouldn't imagine.
No, it's still day. It's like the sun is setting, so there's not like a dark spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's sunsetish, whatever, twilight.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try and make sure to keep an eye on that, so I can come back to that in a bit. But I would look to see if there are any all right. So the sun is gonna set. Which direction? Where's it gonna be darkest? What side is it gonna be darkest on?
So there's your rows. So sun is setting on the west, so it's setting on this side.
So it'll be darker over here.
It's solstice, so it's practically gonna be. It's more gonna be setting like northwest.
Oh, it's true. This far north, it is going to be more setting northwest.
So somewhere around here.
Yeah, that's going to be the place that has shadows in it.
Okay, I'll remember that later.
Okey-doke.
And I'll go back into the party, and I will wait for the wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, the shadows on the drawing actually match up pretty good.
Oh, that's good. I didn't plan for that.
I'm just going to talk to the party members, saying whatever we have that scares the shit out of people, we should throw. Is that the rule for the prestidigitation?
Yeah.
The three of us? Okay. All right.
So those of you who rolled perception in the wedding, as you're sitting there doing your performances and whatnots, you notice at the head of the table, everyone is dressed way nicer than anyone else in the room. You do spot Frederick, who is sitting at the head table, and his wife, Victoria, who's also sitting at the head table. Frederick looks like he's having an absolute blast. He is wasted and is making hugely inappropriate, you can tell, hugely inappropriate jokes because Victoria will just put her head in her hands and just look.
You really?
She is turning red with embarrassment whenever.
You really gonna make us like not feel bad for killing the dude?
She's hugely embarrassed.
He's an ass, he's a chauvinist, he's a molester. Damn.
Yeah, there's a reason to kill him. You notice up here is we have
the money.
The king of the, you know him. He not know him personally, but you know who he is. That is the king of the local kingdom, of the kingdom you live in. This is the queen, and you have yourself a elf that you have never seen before, but is wearing a crown and some very fancy dresses.
Presumably the king of the.
So this is the king?
Yep. This is the king, and that's the queen.
All right, and we haven't seen the wedding people.
You have not seen Rosa or Lion yet. They have not made an appearance. Okay. We moving forward to wedding?
Yeah.
Okay, wedding time. You get a signal. You have practiced this before, or not practiced, but you've gone over this before. You get a signal from the king as the sun is setting. Long shadows are cast from the pillars, and you notice that the sun is setting on your west side. As the sun gets closer and closer to the horizon. Where are you at, Brodog?
I
lost you.
At this point, I'm going to be standing near the entrance. I don't really particularly care about this wedding part. I'll come back for my song later.
Okay, so you're going to be there? Okay.
Yes.
That works for me. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. You practice that you are going to, like all weddings, you have to play a little ditty.
Are we the weddings players too?
We're the wedding players.
The way we're playing them down.
Yeah, so you're playing them down the aisle.
Fine. I'll play the drums.
So you get your signal that you need to start your little wedding song.
Now I want the bongo version of that wedding song.
From the east side, you see a very handsome young elf. Not young, but looks young. Young elf appear from the door.
He could be like 200.
He could be, who knows? And he walks to your song, walks down, shakes hands with Frederick, gives Victoria a big hug, hugs what you presume to be the king of elves, and then stands to the side.
The king of all elves.
The king of all the elves. The king, the elf king of, I don't know.
I'm gonna guess
Galardia.
One thing, I'm gonna guess that there isn't a crowd here anymore in front of them.
Oh no, that's getting worse. Everyone wants to watch.
Oh, okay. So how the fuck is she gonna walk up the aisle?
She doesn't walk down the aisle. She's walking in from the side.
Oh,
over there. See?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a friendly handshake of marriage.
Mm.
You see a young woman from the west side walk by. She goes up to her mother, gives her a big hug. Goes up to her father and gives him a big hug. Before walking down, shakes hands with all the people on the table to eventually get to what you presume to be the king, gives him a big hug, and then stands to the side.
I love it.
A wedding. You guys weren't supposed to get this far, so now I'm having to make things up.
What do you mean we're supposed to get this far?
I know!
I thought it was supposed to take an hour for us to get here.
I know! You all mess with my plans. It's fine. You see a what appears to be a priest in his priestly robes come down and stand between the two and preside over the wedding. Dearly beloved, all who are here, we are here not just for a wedding, not just to entwine two lovers, but as a symbol of our nations coming together for peace. When he says this, the whole crowd erupts in applause and cheers, including the guards. Everyone's excited this way. This wedding holds not just important for these two young individuals, but for all of us together. And he turns to Wyan and says, Wyan, do you accept to love Rosa for... gosh, that's terrible because the rest of his life is very long. Fucking elves.
For the rest of her life.
For the rest of her life.
Until death do your part.
Until death do your part. And Wyan, of course, says yes.
He's like,
Rosa.
it's a short engagement. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Rosa, do you accept the love of Wyan, and do you promise to love him for the whatever you say, the remainder of your life, till death do you part? She says yes.
Don't let Arnie marry you.
Don't let Arnie. You weren't supposed to get to this part.
We weren't supposed to be successful.
You weren't supposed to be successful.
Can I just say that right now, Snip is bawling. He is like wailing, like
Road Dog is like giant orc hand patting Snip's back.
You can't see it, but I'm rolling my eyes.
To do so, Rosa goes up to Wyan. Unless anyone has any objections to this wedding, and he looks at the king, and the king nods his head, and he looks at the elf king, and the king also nods his head in approval. Then I now pronounce Wyan and Rosa of Moon Shadow, and everyone bursts out into cheers, and you all get your music going because this is your cue, and the drumming, and the party goes on.
I down the potion of heroism when this happens with the, everybody's making the toast because we're going to be doing this thing now.
Yeah.
How long does that one? I'm gonna, when there's less than a minute, so it's clear that we are gonna, this trap is gonna be sprung, I'm gonna apply the...
Remember, you do have message. You can message each other this. You don't have to time it.
Well, I don't have message.
Yes, but just letting you know, you don't have to try to time it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's you can be a little bit more coordinated.
So I'll turn to.
The poison only lasts a minute, so.
All right. After we do the wedding ceremony song, we're gonna swap up to a solo piece so that my colleagues can take up positions that are more advantageous to them. Mm-hmm. And I need a minute of singing to for the effect of, what was it again? Mantle of enthralling performance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, give me at least till half the song is done before you make any moves, and then I'll have your back.
Okay, and in that time,
so look, as you all are doing this, the crowd does disperse a little bit and goes back to partying down Hardy.
Okay.
Is anyone gonna send me a message? Just I need to, because the poisons only last a minute.
Well, why don't you just wait till you see us move, and then.
How about this? I'll send him a message. I'll be like, wait until I walk out of the building.
Okay, yeah, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's your cue. Okay.
So yes, that's my cue. I'm going to do an enthralling performance, and then at the end. Oh, I guess I have to get to the end of the song. I'll tell the people this. At the end of the performance, I choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet of me who watched and listened to all of it, which they'd all be stuck because they're in.
Mm-hmm. They're all stuck doing this.
Up to a number equal to your charisma modifier, which is 4 for me, and then everyone has to do a wisdom saving throw, or be charmed.
Okay. So who are your 4 targets?
I'm going, since I don't see any obvious, we never agreed on any of the spellcasters. I'm going to charm the guards.
Which guards you got?
So the I guess 60 feet. How do I check length again?
Charm our target.
Oh, sorry.
Charm our target. He's right there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So the 3 guards and our
So
target.
most of the guards around you can charm. They're
Okay.
easily within reach.
And then Frederick as well, because he's in that suite with my
Okay,
performance.
so you want this guard, this guard, this guard, and Frederick.
Yep. Oh, sorry, this guard here was that
The
one?
bottom one?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Top guard. What's your DC?
I think it's 15, but let me check. Yes, 15.
15. Okay. So I have to do better than a 15. Top guard is fine. So guard up top east is fine.
Okay.
Top west is fine.
Dang it. Come on, Frederick. roll.
Bottom is not fine, so he is charmed. Which I'll get you a charmed thing. Sure thing. Broken heart. Look at me. And Frederick is charmed.
Awesome.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So while she's doing this, I'm going to walk out of the building.
Okay.
I'm going to walk out. If the guards give me any tests, I'll be like, I have to go to the restroom or something.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
don't. They know you're a
excuse.
performer, and they're like, whatever.
I will step out into the grass, look directly here. That's the window looking over the table, correct?
Okay.
Which
And
happens
I
to
will
be where I am.
I will step into the shadows and then step out at that window.
Okay.
Oh,
so
hello.
now we have.
Dimension dooring to it.
Okay. So both Past and
Hush.
Road Dog are now on the roof.
Okay. As he gets up there, I'm gonna apply the purple worm poison to the seeker dart and the 2 others to 2 normal darts.
All right. So now
Okay.
I'm up here.
That's just the backup, though, right? The poison?
Yeah. The poison is the backup.
Yes.
Okay.
So as the performance is about finished and I see the enthralling has occurred, at least in Frederick's eyes, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Frederick is all head over heels over Ellery.
I summon forth a skeletal hand.
Okay.
The skeletal hand reaches out right at Frederick, lingers for half a second, and then throttles his throat. Cast chill touch. He's enthralled currently.
So
Yeah.
it's a disadvantage, right?
So I have advantage on the attack roll.
You have advantage on the attack roll. He's a nobleman. He's not.
13.
Oof,
A 1 and a 2.
Oh, that is very bad. But you get him. He's not like wearing armor or anything.
Okay.
He's
So
a big fat guy.
So as he's grabbed, and this hand is ringing around his throat, a portal opens up and giving the briefest glimpse of a dark and horrible burning flaming hell that pulls him into it. And he disappears for 6 seconds.
Okay.
When he returns, he takes 10d10 psychic damage as well as the chill touch damage.
Okay. Yeah, he ain't living that, so
So he returns a husk of the man that he was before, covered in charred remains and whatnot. His clothes ruined.
Mm-hmm. You hear a shrill scream from Victoria as she steps away from the corpse, and everyone erupts into screaming. There is panic in the room, and as you do this, since you are all so focused on your thing, the windows to all the windows break open, spilling glass everywhere, and you see yourself. These little guys show up.
Oh, fuck.
There's a lot of them, so give me a second. Crash through the window into the room. We're actually, you know what? I'll warn you now. We're going into a cutscene, so you all don't get to do anything for a second or two.
Okay.
Okay.
Just so you know.
A cutscene.
A cutscene. More screaming erupts, and people start running around the room trying to get away from these skeletal creatures that have just broken through the windows. And as they run, you hear the loud wails that sound almost as a child as more creatures make their way through the walls of the grand hall that you're in, wailing and screaming everywhere. You hear a loud pounding at the door as it suddenly burst open. Oh, this will be fun. And in comes pouring in zombies, just pour into the room, attacking any creature that gets near them. Roll initiative, and then we'll probably pause there until next week. But you can roll initiative.
I don't have.
Good thing me and the frog are well out of sight.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, as
I don't have anything to click.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You want to roll it down? You can. There you go. You can roll your initiative. We're not going to do this battle today. It's too much.
That's fine.
It's too much. I mean, we can, but it's 9 o'clock.
I mean, why would we even want to? We've done our thing.
So what was supposed to happen?
As long as we make sure that
Yeah, we already fucking framed this woman.
Yeah. You've done your job, but now
all we have to
You just need to escape.
No, we also need to make sure Victoria is safe.
Of course.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get paid if she dies.
Yeah,
That's true.
Just get her out and we'll be fine.
I could send her through hell.
Probably not gonna be helpful.
So, did he come back dead, or did he just come back and...
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's super dead.
He came back a husk.
Okay, excellent. Right.
A withered husk.
Did you just roll a 20 on initiative?
No, I rolled it to get it on there. And then your token's there too, but you're not here, so
Okay.
doesn't matter.
So this didn't go the way you... So are we out of kind of game?
Yeah, again, we can keep going, but...
No. I just want to know, because you seemed like there was... You said we were going to have 3 encounters, you thought.
Yeah, you got through one. You got through one. You planned really well.
What did you think was going to happen?
You guys weren't going to plan anything and just jump into this blind and then...
Whatever.
Yeah,
You gave me a chance to play Road Dog.
Also, you specifically said that we should plan.
You did. You specifically, Moses, was like, this is very important. Anything you may miss, I'm gonna hold it over you.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd listen to me. So.
Why would we listen to you?
We always listen to you.
And we are like an Assassin's Guild, so being methodical and planning is actually really in line with what their characters are. Yeah.
Yep.
It wouldn't make sense for us not to do that.
Well, I know. To be honest, the fact that you said, "Look, you guys really need to prepare," was totally a flag. I was like, "Okay, we can't just go into this. We actually need to think this out." So, I mean, it wasn't like it was good to do because otherwise, that was actually a really fun part of the game was working all of that out.
Yeah,
and if
and then
I was
tormenting a poor woman.
I think it was more creative than just going in for a mass battle first thing. So no, that was
now you're in one.
Yes, we are. We are in one.
Yeah.
You guys are in one. Me and Pash are having a great time.
Yeah, actually, we don't need to fight anyone. We just need to do now an extraction and a collection.
Do I have an... See, if we went in there and just grabbed her, people start asking questions.
Why? Yeah. Everyone else will be running out, right? And I've got a charmed guard. I could just send a charmed guard to help her. And say, Victoria, because I got a command spell on him. So we can even get an NPC to help us all kind of escape together like a group.
By the way, once Frederick came back from whatever hell he was in, the bracelets that you were wearing disintegrate into fall apart.
Okay.
Of course they did.
I am going to roll. I'll roll a d20 quickly. Oh. All right. Snip can hold it together. I didn't know if she would be able to, like, if she saw, like, the party really getting started, if she'd just run. If you just have a whole other situation on there, but apparently she's keeping it cool.
Mm-hmm.
She's going professional.
All right.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, we can fight this out, but it's 9:00.
No.
We should not
Good
do
fresh.
that.
Yeah.
Oh
And
no,
to
I
be-
wasn't planning to. I was just
To be fair, so I had planned for you to get through about half of the one shot today. I'll let you all know you got through a quarter of it.
Of course we did.
So let you all know you only got through a quarter
I'll tell you, as a DM, you got to realize that if you're going to say something's going to make 2 sessions, it's actually going to take 6.
So you made it through the first quarter.
It's not like we have like. It's not like we were on a deadline.
No, you're not. I'm just letting you. You have a whole lot left.
I did a Monster Hunter themed like side story in my campaign, and it was basically if you know Monster Hunter, it was the Rathalos. The party was hunting one, and that turned what was supposed to be like 1 or 2 sessions turned into 10 sessions.
oh wow.
Nice.
and 10 sessions and 2 party members died. One of them blew himself up with a cannon.
Nice.
So you can laugh now that it's over. Like it's in the past, so it's easier to laugh at it.
Oh, I was just laughing at the whole time because I was DMing. It was my game. They blew themselves with the cannon. I gave them all the hints. This cannon is not something you want to be fucking with. It's been hit. It's broken. It's cracked. Guy was like, I'm gonna load all the gunpowder into this cannon. And then he crit failed 3 times in a row. I was like, okay, well, here's the cannon. So we'll see how well you loaded the cannon. Okay, crit failed. How the cannon misfires. All right, dodge the cannon. Okay, crit failed. Okay, now now try to like escape some of the explosion damage. Oh, crit failed again. All right, well, there you go. It's like 300 damage. You're dead.
It was nice knowing you, sir, but
he went back. That cat player made a goblin warlock the next session and basically followed the party around for like 4 sessions without the party even knowing he was there. Like this creepy little goblin that followed them around for like 4 whole sessions before he even revealed himself. They were like doing encounters and he was like attacking them from the other side, and he was invisible and shit, and they were like, who keeps killing things over here? Who is this? And then he shows up and they're like, oh, creepy guy. Who the fuck are you?
Well, yeah, so I guess we have an exciting battle to look forward to next time.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, of course, we continue with the Mystery of Lyroon and all of the... Oh, yes, I was going to say to Jess, I don't know if you've told our characters in-game about your... it's a devil. Grandmother?
My grandmother, yes.
Yeah.
I told you briefly. I don't think I've ever went into detail that my grandmother was Zariel, but I have said that my grandmother is Zariel.
Oh, okay.
And you have said that she's visited you.
She asked. She's after me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was in-game or out-of-game, but it just occurred to me that...
He said that
Okay.
in-game at some point.
That devils are probably the best thing to take care of chaos.
Yeah.
So maybe it's really lucky that you have that relation. Maybe it'll come in handy.
I really hope not.
Yeah, well. All right, well, so if you want to hear how that story continues, join us on Saturday. But otherwise, we're going to wrap up this session until we come back to this storyline next week. So until Saturday, goodbye from me and goodbye from the party. Say goodbye, party.
goodbye.
Goodbye.
Nice, they did the bit.